Yay, I think we're starting. Okay. Let me get this shit up on my phone. I was all like, yay, I'm going to stream a race. And then I see that Kyle Busch is in it. And I'm like, oh, fuck. At the start of the year, I said I wasn't going to do Leach races. But we've had so few and Xfinity's been so good to watch. I guess I'm still going to do it anyway, even though Kyle Busch is in it. So here I am. Rock you like a hurricane. I don't think Kyle's in the race tomorrow, so that one should be a good one. There goes sleepy little Ozzy is. My cat's very sleepy. I'm so not excited for this race now that I know Kyle Busch is in it. At least I ain't got to worry about him winning the Cup race. Well, Darlington was a shit show last week, but in the best fucking way. That was some outstanding racing. Hey, Janet. Unfortunately, Kyle Busch is in this race, so I'm not excited about it, Mal. Kyle Busch shouldn't be running in the Xfinity Series.
The two guys that have won the most in the Xfinity Series.
Oh, boy.
We'll start with Parker Clear.
Well, Rick, if you're a Chase Briscoe fan, you may know he leads the series with 6 wins.
Let's check the weather in Richmond this weekend.
It's coming the last 10 races, so you might be wondering if something wrong with the 98 car. Do not worry.
I know it rained there like crazy the last couple of days. Yeah, I can't talk.
He likes, not tracks he runs well at. How's
Yay.
Richmond? Well, this is his worst track, he said. So if they can make it through this weekend,
looks pretty good the rest of the weekend from what I can tell. If Michael's here, or if he heard my message on video, please put me down for Harrison Burton. Trying to steal some extra money.
They finished 12th. What better way to recover? How about a Richmond doubleheader? In 2 races
weather looks good for Richmond.
He finished second each time. He'll try to improve by 1 position each.
Yeah, still going to the gym when we can. When I'm not, I'm still riding that stupid fucking bike at home, and it hurts. Well, it doesn't hurt. It's just really uncomfortable. My legs feel like they weigh 800 pounds.
And then the season ends in Bristol. The regular season ends in
There's Kyle Busch getting buckled into his stupid car.
The winningest driver ever in the Xfinity Series in Kyle Busch. Let's get the engine started. It's the president of the Pro Bowling Proprietors Association of America, Jim Decker.
Race audio good? Do I have it loud enough? I think it is. On my OBS, it goes into the yellow a little bit. That should be fine. Yep. I'm picking Harrison Burton just to try to win some money. Michael, where are you? It better go quick because Kyle Busch is in this, and I'm not that excited. I got to get back to streaming games. I've been slacking on that, but when I'm not working out and wanting to die, I'm usually sleeping or just chilling after working out. Hey, Michael. Did you hear me, Michael? Put me down for Harrison Burton. Just trying to steal some money. Feel like Briscoe or Cindric or Gregson be too obvious, so I'm going to say Harrison Burton. Obviously, Kyle Busch, the favorite, ain't going to fucking pick him. I'm much more excited for the Richmond race tomorrow because it starts at 1 o'clock. A daytime Richmond race. That'll be really good based on how the Xfinity Series has been this year. And then the Cup race is tomorrow night at 7:30. I don't know why I'm picking Harrison Burton, but it's a feeling. Just a little. Ozzy, play with your feet, Ozzy. Ozzy's so sleepy, he don't even care what I'm doing. He don't look that disturbed to me. Now you're going to disturb his nap. You leave him alone. See, look at him. He's already opening his eyes. He's like, what are you doing? Just let him rest. It's a long, hard day of being a stupid fucking cat. Because I didn't throw it out last night. I went to bed.
my sentence and you just said it.
Hey, Lori. I literally did not know Kyle Busch was in this race till about 10 minutes ago. And I just about not stream. I was like, maybe I'll take a day for me. No. Truck race last night, from what I saw, kind of sucked. I didn't pay much attention to it. I was watching football.
Credit One Bank, the official credit card of NASCAR.
Harrison's 14-1. I'll take those odds.
Toyota.
I'd love to bet on Ross, but he's probably a higher favorite, and he'll fuck it up somehow. Gregson's a fuck up. He'd lose it. Briscoe's probably high on the list. I bet it's Kyle Busch, Briscoe, Cindric, Chastain. Would that be the top favorites?
The starting grid brought to you by Go Bowling.
He's trying to steal a little money.
Matrix based upon the last race that the Xfinity Series run.
Yeah, thank you.
Reason Ross Chastain.
This race will be good for picking tomorrow's Xfinity race, even though the track will be totally different.
By the 19-year-old, he will start.
So even if I whiff on tonight, I might do better tomorrow.
Now you look all the way back in row 10.
All the way back. What the fuck?
Place last night, the Truck Series race, going to try to duplicate that effort, run the top 5 tonight. It'd be a good run for the 0-2. Yeah,
can you guys hear the race audio okay? Yeah, Janet said it sounds good. I just saw that comment through. Kyle Busch got to start in the 29th position.
Pretty close to his home there. Jeff Burton, the son of Ward and nephew of Jeff Burton, broadcast partner. You see back there in row 15, it will be Kyle Busch. Again, mentioned him as the winningest driver. 97 times he's visited Victory Lane. He said that when he gets to 100, he'll call it quits, unless a sponsor says that they want him to come and run a race, which is a possibility. Want to dial up one
sure they will.
Starting on the front row, Ross Chastain. Steve, can we get him on the radio?
All right, let's take a shot here.
Remind me, Austin.
Hey, Ross, Steve Letard up at the NBA CSN booth, bud. You got a copy?
Did he just say NBA CSN?
All right, man. You got
Pretty sure
the best
Letarte
seat
just said he's up in the
Advisor.
NBA
Why
CSN
don't you
booth.
tell the fans what they're going to see tonight? Take them around Richmond in the challenge.
Like, I don't
for the
need
short
confirmation.
Yeah, it is. It's not always been the kindest place to be, but yeah, looking forward to the challenge. Obviously, the nice easy math formula put us on the pole here, so rewards good runs and try to get this year nice solutions in college racing. This number 6 car Victory Lane, man, it's gonna be a tough place. Truck race did not look easy to pass last night, but if you put your tires on at the right time at the end of the race, you have a shot.
I was going to test you on that matrix for the math and the starting position, but I'll let you slide this time. Let's talk about the tires. You mentioned putting them on, so as they wear out, where do you feel them the most, and as a driver, what do you have to do to try to help them along? Oh, I think we lost one.
Sorry, I was wondering if we were going out there at that time. I think the biggest thing is just not sliding it too much. You've got to hustle it. I made that mistake 2 years ago here. Didn't run hard enough. And gave up too much track for this year. But I think not sliding the front across the center and not completely buzzing the rear legs. It's easier said than done. These Xfinity cars are fun to drive because they have a lot of power and not a lot of grip. So.
Hey, you hear that? Ross said these Xfinity cars are fun to drive because they have a lot of power and not a lot of grip. It's as if I say that all the time. It's as if like NASCAR should like listen to them or something. I don't know. Hard to argue with that race last Saturday.
All right, these guys, they've got these hot rods fired up. You can hear them revving them up. We're going to onboard cameras. First will be Ross in the number 10, the Nutrient Ag Solutions. He's got the helmet cam. That'll be fun. You can see him getting after it in there. And then the number 98, Chase.
You made good bets, Michael.
Go Bowling side panner cam. So
that Kyle Busch one's probably the only one you're really taking a risk on.
That's right. But we mentioned that this is still regular season for the Xfinity Series, which is different for Cup. Cup will actually be racing tomorrow night under the lights, and it'll be their second playoff race. Well, there's still 3 races.
Xfinity's got 3 races left. Tonight, tomorrow, and next week at Bristol.
Tomorrow afternoon will be Richmond 2.
The good thing about Kyle Busch being in this race is that he will not be in the Bristol race next week because this is Kyle's last Xfinity race of the year, if I'm not mistaken. He was supposed to do Watkins Glen, but they didn't go there, and then they wouldn't let him do Daytona Road Course, so Kyle Busch is in this race.
In the Cup Series, they start with 16. By the time they get to Vegas,
So, the Bristol Xfinity race should be awesome.
I mean, what a stretch, though. What a stretch. Short track, doubleheader, short tracks. That's interesting, Brad. We've seen some doubleheaders, but never had a short track.
Hey, speaking of short tracks, Auto Club Speedway will be a short track after next year.
Both sides. At some point tonight, you're going to have to lean on somebody to make that pass.
Yeah, and as you know, Steve, it really started before tonight because as you race each week, as you well know, you want to take that breather after the race is over. And
You know, we could have done it to Kentucky instead of Auto Club, but hey, it's fine. I like Auto Club Speedway, but if we're getting another short track over a big track, I'm happy with that. Here's hoping they do the same to Kentucky Speedway in the future. Knock that shit in, make it a half mile.
Earlier this week, asked him about doubleheaders and what he thought. And he said, personally, not that big of a deal. He said, but for my team, this is tough. He said, this is really
You like Cindric
hard
tonight?
for the race team.
Ooh, I love Allgaier's filter time paint scheme. That's
Justin
nice.
Allgaier may have a different primary sponsor tomorrow night, which right now he has filter time on the hood. His
Going green next time.
sponsor might be Brandt tomorrow, and so they're going to have to completely recover this car and all of the different things that they have to do.
I'm glad you showed that. Allgaier, blue car. Allgaier, blue car.
Right.
Brad, I think I have a chance at that.
Glad he showed that too. I'm so glad I saw that.
The 7 is
Brad Daugherty, I feel like I'm back in the ESPN days.
Yeah, it's really hard on these
I don't know if that's good or bad.
It's going to be difficult, but man, this is fun. And as a fan, it doesn't get any better than this short track racing on a Friday night. Oh my goodness, let's get it on.
Brad, I love your pep talks. Let's listen into the 11th.
Xfinity Race for Kyle Busch in it. Brad Daugherty in the booth. I'm 15 years old again.
Have fun. Do what you do. As I always say, do what you do. You are really, really good here in the fall. We let you down, so pick us up like you always do. We appreciate you and love you. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate you.
And green flag.
Lucky for Ross Chastain, no Denny Hamlin anywhere in sight.
From Richmond. Ross Chastain in the 10. Brandon Jones in the 19. And moving up quickly on the inside. Fighting for position. Harrison Burton in the
Boy, I got to tell you, every year I go through this, it's so weird watching a race during football season.
Where's the preferred liner on the race?
Even when there's no football on at the same time, it's still weird to me for some reason. I'm like,
On that big wide entrance, I think it just begs you to overdrive the corner and you get all the way to the
Because it's like I've been watching racing all year.
One thing, though, Brad, is there is that second lane that-
God, we've watched a lot of fucking races this year.
Brandon Jones making it work.
Streamed most of them.
Chastain's talking about sliding those tires. You really want to manage those tires as best you possibly can. But when you start the race, man, it's just like going after that bit. And sometimes guys get in and push them.
Nice paint scheme there, Kyle Busch. The Starburst car, that's pretty cool.
Really hard. You got to be on the bottom, take advantage of the ability to grab that bottom and rotate that race car.
Cindric just passed Briscoe. Yeah, good call on Cindric. He looks pretty fast already.
A caution will come in lap 40 to allow them to work. NASCAR will throw a competition yellow at lap 40. Right?
And again, a reminder, no practice, no qualifying. Once again, this weekend, they haven't been able to have it at any place other than...
So, will the 8 car survive this race? Daniel Hemrick's not driving it, so it's got a better chance than usual.
Had ever been on that. Now, we're seeing on the right side of your screen...
Car's
Kyle
cursed.
Busch has started near the rear.
Kyle Busch up to 23rd. We're 4 laps
To
in.
get toward the front and start battling as we see 2 teammates fighting it out here. Joe Gibbs Racing drivers, Brandon Jones in the 19 and Harrison Burton in the 20.
Harrison's really excelled at the short tracks in this Xfinity Series. You know, that's where he came from. I watched him as a very young teenager running in that.
Thought Chastain was going to check out, but his lead's kind of shrunk now. You could throw a blanket over the top 4. Go, Burton. Hey, Bert.
I think some of the trick at Richmond is to just not ask the car to do too much. You heard Parker early in this broadcast talk about how your car doesn't like to slow down, it doesn't like to turn, it doesn't like to accelerate. Well, sometimes just don't ask it to do so much.
Steve, when I caught up with Harrison earlier today,
I got to be real with you guys. Working out's hard. I thought it was supposed to get easier. I'm 2 weeks in. It's only getting harder.
On the restarts. Now here at Richmond, it's similar.
I got to get a workout in after the race, take a shower, and get ready to play Friday the 13th. We're not going to the gym tonight, so.
Well, how aggressive do you
I was trying to rework the schedule so I didn't have to go to the gym on Friday nights anyway, because I don't want to miss Friday the 13th. I've missed it 2 weeks in a row.
Cluster right there with the 11 of Justin Haley, the 1 Michael Annette. Now
Yeah, it's a good race so far. There's a lot of close racing going on. That's not you. Oh, Clements. Clements pushing up off the corner. I thought he was going to take out Allgaier. Wouldn't have surprised me, just because of what happens to Allgaier. Brandon Jones doing a very nice job of holding up Harrison Burton. I think Burton's a little faster than him. And Burton's got the nose in there, going into 3. Go Harrison Burton.
Back to your childhood, or at least the start of your
So, Michael, how much do I get if Harrison Burton wins?
In Asheville, Weaverville Speedway, Greenville Pickens, all those types of places. So all of these guys, they all feel like they're capable of getting it done. And you're right, Steve. I remember many years ago, I was standing in Richmond, and I was watching Tony Stewart make laps. And as he got up to speed, I was standing by the start-finish line. He was letting off the gas and letting that car roll all the way through the corner. And I was watching.
Bro, I got to do that in NASCAR Heat 5, Brad, when my tires wear out.
He would just roll it.
I lift as soon as I cross the start-finish line.
Let the car do the work.
$14 if Harrison Burton wins. That's what I thought. Very nice. So Burton finally passed Jones for second. Here comes Cindric around the outside of Jones for third. Yeah, Cindric's pretty fast. That's why I was annoyed that it was taking Harrison so long to get around Brandon Jones. I feel like Cindric's going to pass both of them. What were the odds on Cindric?
Austin Cindric trying to make the outside line work there in the 22. It does as he goes by Brandon Jones, and he's really close.
Kyle Busch up to 19th. We're 11 laps in. 30 away from a competition caution.
Something about Penske and Richmond, even the tough cars, these Penske cars run well here. Pick up, you say no practice, this is the one track.
I don't like the competition caution. This as if Kyle Busch needs to fucking help. All that caution's going to do is help him if anybody decides to pit. Which I don't think they will, although 75 laps is a long time.
Austin Cindric, what a season already. He has had 5 wins. Austin's father, Tim Cindric, president at Team Penske, we mentioned.
Gee, I wonder how he got this ride, Rick Allen. Austin Cindric's father, Tim, president of Team Penske. No shit. You don't say.
We've got to remember, he's always been known as a road course guy. He has been able to win at the road courses, but it was this year that he broke through and won at the ovals. And I think that's the difference for this 22 car looking forward, right? Is that makes him a
All
true
guy
contender for
going
the
around the outside of Gregson. That's a risky pass. That's all the way back in 10th.
They ran a doubleheader in Kentucky. He swept it.
You're exactly right. I actually talked to Austin about his season, how far he's come. And he said, I've just been putting in the work. I've been putting in the reps. I knew I had to get better on the ovals because everyone monitored me that, the short track specialist. So
And Cedric Bitt's looking pretty good now, but we ain't seen Kyle Busch up at the front just yet, and he'll get
I
there.
want to also tell you, take your time. There's no need to be in a hurry to go anywhere. Everybody talks about these cup cars with Briscoe and Cedric. Listen, you jump into that cup car, it's a whole different, it's a big time animal. Take your time, learn as much as you can, race against these guys, whoop up on them if you can for a couple of seasons, and then look for your opportunity.
We mentioned
Caution's out.
A little bit of caution coming out. We saw
Oh, yeah, we got a car stopped over. Colby Howard is stopped in turn 4.
Looks like Colby Howard in the 15 up against the fence. And
On
stopped.
lap
So
15,
Colby's brought
ironically.
out the caution. But there has been talk, obviously, of the possibility of precipitation in the area.
I see raindrops.
And we are hearing that the caution is out for Colby Howard. So
I don't see a lot of raindrops. They shouldn't have to red flag it here. I'm going to be optimistic. It looks pretty sunny. It just looks like a little cloud burst over the racetrack. Not enough for them to have to stop the race, and the caution wasn't even for rain. So optimistic people, optimistic. Now I'm going to stare at this leaderboard till they come back from commercial and pray to God it'll say red flag for rain. Ozzy. I got food coming. I got Subway. Eat fresh and healthy. Healthy-ish. It's okay. I can still... You know what the great thing is? I can eat all the meat that I want. And thank God, because I'm such a picky eater, all I eat is meat anyway. So the whole diet thing's not that hard for me. Ooh, a Dunkin' Donuts commercial. Is that bacon with sugar? What the fuck? Dunkin'. What are you on, Dunkin' Donuts? It's okay, Krispy Kreme's better anyway. Couple things I got to stream sometime in the next few days. I got to get back on Pokemon Leaf Green. I want to stream Tony Hawk's Pro Skater because I made my custom skater last night. By the way, my custom skater looks retarded because I suck at creating characters in games, and I just don't think the customization is that good for that game, but that's not something I really care about. It's still a fucking phenomenal game. So I got to stream that sometime soon. Then eventually, I've said a while back, I'm going to do Star Wars, but I've been so busy. Pokemon thing happened because I got those emulators working, and then Tony Hawk came out, so now I got to stream those. I haven't even played. I've been playing Pokemon Soul Silver off stream for myself, and I haven't even played that in over a week. And I've been playing Red Dead Redemption 2 on PC. I played that a couple days in a row. In between periods of wondering why I have to work so hard to get in shape. Why can't I just be boring like everybody else? Like every one of my friends that doesn't do jack shit but stays really small. Just trying to figure that one out for myself. I don't have good metabolism. And why are all the good foods the ones that suck for you?
Tying Sam Ard, one of the greats of the Xfinity Series.
You believe Austin Cindric's name is in the fucking record books with Sam Ard? That's not something I would have predicted at the start of the season.
Richmond for the Xfinity Series. IndyCar also in action. Their first race will be tomorrow, 4:30. Then the Cup Series race number 2.
Race 2 of the playoffs tomorrow night. Boy, last week was a good surefire way to piss me off. I should have had $20.
Tomorrow, so a busy day on NBC.
Martin Truex took $20 out of my pocket.
Rick, let's stay on the Austin Cindric theme for just a moment here. Austin, at the end of 2020, does not have a contract yet for the next year, and he said, I'm always fighting this perception that there's a guaranteed ride for me at Team
Because there is.
His dad, Tim, is president at Team Penske. He said, I don't have a ride yet for next year. I have been on the phone for the first time in my career just finding out what else is out there just in case. And I talked to him just before he hopped into his race car, and he said, no, the update is still there. That is where we stand, and for now, I'm rideless in 21 until we get something nailed down.
You know what we do now, Rick? This is where the crew chief and the play-by-play guy, we get real quiet and we put the team owner on the spot in the next booth over. So, on a serious note,
Brad, have you talked to?
Well, no, my point though is, as an owner, Austin Cindric has to be turning heads, Brad.
No,
Still riding around under caution.
You know, I've had a great opportunity to talk to Austin. I think he's a fabulous young race car driver.
Talking about Cindric might get the 37 next year in Cup or something. That would be a career mistake.
He'll find an opportunity. There'll be a good opportunity for him. He's 2,000. But don't just take any opportunity and don't jump into that Cup car.
So I used to always say that Sundays or the Cup race was the deep end of the swimming pool. And I had one of the rookies this year tell me, he goes, it's not the deep end of the pool. I said, what do you mean? He goes, the deep end of the pool, you at least know which way to swim. He goes, this is the ocean. He goes, you start a race with the Cup Series. I don't know which way shallow is. He goes, it is so competitive from, you know, first. He goes, 20th, 25th.
I've acquired Subway.
It is so competitive.
Yay. I was pretty hungry.
Every week. And I mean, it is. My guys are
And I better enjoy it. It's the only food I'm eating for the rest of the day.
I almost think it's tougher back there.
Oh,
It's like a fight. It's a big
hard.
battle back there.
It's hard.
The rookie battle in the Cup Series this year has drivers that spent more than 1 year successfully in the Xfinity Series. I mean, you had Christopher Bell, Tyler Reddick.
If there's no Penske affiliated ride available in Cup, Cindric needs to stay put.
You don't need to jump right up into Cup after your first really successful season in Xfinity.
No, I love what Brad said. I know the business model changes, and that perhaps moves some of these drivers up. I think of someone like William Byron. But selfishly, I would love to see the Stars stay in Xfinity longer. I think it makes the series more exciting. I think it gives it more depth. You know, I do agree with you. The guys that had multiple years, I think that's why we're seeing maybe quicker
Whatever you do,
success.
don't bring them down pit
Not
road.
just that, but they're also in some pretty
Who's
quality
Bubba going to race
rides, but I
for?
think many
My
more
money's on the
guys
42 for
may
Bubba.
also help
I
those
would
quality
prefer
rides.
Bubba get the 48 because I think it's better, but I think he's going to get the 42 because he's got a pre-existing relationship with McDonald's, who's a sponsor on the 42 already.
Briscoe has had great success, and he obviously wants to jump up to the Cup Series.
That he does, Rick. He's actually,
Rick Hendrick says he's got a driver from 48.
Here, and I was just talking to him the other day about
Who do I think gets the 43?
He said, I do not have a deal yet.
God, I don't know, dude. I'd have to really think about it. Ross Chastain, maybe, unless the 43 switches to Toyota, which they might
As a
do.
young driver, is that something that you focus on? Is that hard to take your mind off of and focus on trying to win a championship? And he said, to be honest, every deal I've had in my life has come so late in the year, maybe even to the next year, that I'm so used to it. I'm relaxed. I know the best thing I can do is continuing to tally up wins and go fight for this championship. So he said, my focus is on that, winning races and fight for this championship. But as you guys know, it's just a tough place to be when you're a young driver. You want to have that solidified. You want to know what you're working towards, and you got to focus on the task at hand.
They say the series is where names are made. Well, that's what
Going green next time.
Take a look at where the choose, I guess, arrow
That's
is
a relief.
there. They have to stay on either the right or the left side of that box, but it's right up there next to the wall.
That is really, really close. That is as far up as I've ever seen that cone. It is just right there at the corner, too, where you're starting to arc the car. So this is going to be an interesting race.
You know, when I glanced at the truck race last night, I thought that choose cone spot kind of sucks because, like they said, it's pretty damn narrow out against the outside.
The V is okay. You can touch that. But if you touch that orange box, you will go to the back of the line. I swear I saw a car.
I was going to say, it looked like a car got really close, if not touching
How
it.
you can.
Right. Okay, NASCAR saying nobody hit the box, so everyone's clear.
Well, because of that, you know, if you choose the outside,
I like the choose cone crooked.
I would imagine the bottom lane is going to be preferred. So let's see if they can use this choose opportunity to gain some spots.
So Chastain chose the inside line as the race leader, and Harrison Burton has chosen that outside line. Back to racing.
Chastain picked the inside, gives Burton the outside. Cindric's going looking to go 3 wide, but he thinks better of it.
Trying to get down to the bottom below that
Wow.
10.
Good start on the inside for Ross. He's still clear for the lead off of 2.
Very, very deep, protecting that position. And look what's happening.
I thought that outside line would work out great for Harrison.
Red and white, number 1 of Mike Lynette. Oh, action up front as well. The 22 of Cindric and the 20 now side by side.
Ross Chastain has more laps led tonight than in his career on all the short tracks in his NXS Prime. So this is a good start for the 10 car.
Consistency. We've talked to Ross Chastain a couple times and mentioned consistency with him. He says just a mistake either by me or the team has taken away wins. He hasn't won this year, but only 3 times this year.
Those lack of playoff points are really going to hurt Ross, though. They got to start winning now. I think he's stepping up his game. Cindric's up to second, Michael. Way to go.
Pro athletes want to win. I remember this is like 20 years ago. I was talking to Kyle Petty one day out in front of Sapco Racing, and he was kidding me. He just won a race and done a great job. He told me, he said, you know, as a basketball player, at least you get to win. You know, as a pro basketball player, you guys play any games. If you have a bad year, you win 35 games. He said, I don't get to win all the time, and it's frustrating. So keep that in mind when you're watching that too.
37 drivers out there all wanting to win, but only one has the opportunity. At the end of the day, as we see the 20 of Harrison Burton under fire once again from now the 98 of Chase Briscoe, who was under there, but Austin Cindric.
Kyle Busch in the top 10 yet?
Up to second, chasing after
Not yet.
And look at the 11 of Justin Haley. Roll the outside on the 98 of Briscoe. Gets to the quarter panel of the 20 of Harrison Burton. We'll see if he continues to run.
He's almost there. Kyle Busch is 13th.
Higher lane on exit.
That's interesting, Steve. A lot of teams didn't think that'd be a possibility, but moving forward and back to that conversation about his teammate there, Ross Chastain, and losing that race last weekend at Darlington, I said, did that, eat at you a little bit? He goes, initially after, yes, I wanted to win that race so badly because I went and watched it back and realized that was an awesome race, an awesome show. He goes, that's a once-in-a-career race that you'll be involved with a guy like Denny Hamlin. He said, in the future, they'll be really playing the top 10 races in Xfinity history, and that race will probably be in there. And he said that was pretty cool to be a part of if you don't get to victory lane.
Here comes Justin Haley in the 11, looking to the inside of Harrison Burton in the 20.
And mentioned Harrison Burton's success on the short tracks. Rick, 4 short tracks in his Xfinity Series career has never run outside the top 10.
And Justin Haley going for third. You didn't make your usual bet on Justin Haley.
Take over to second. You got his teammate up there, Ross Chastain, leading. Dave is Justin Haley in the 11, trying to join him up there in the top 2.
His team giving him a lot of encouragement right now from his 10th starting position, battling for that 3rd position. And Steve, maybe you can relate to Alex Johnson's crew chief. I talked to him before the race. He said, what's weird about this time? The Monday through Thursday now are the most stressful days of the week as they get together coming off turn 2 because we have to set the car up to be nearly perfect. When we get to the track, it's almost more relaxed. But Monday through Thursday, I'm pulling my hair out. And it looks like it was worth it this week as Haley continues moving forward.
So Rick, I know we know this. We say no practice, no qualifying. What does that mean? And finally, I was talking to a crew chief a few weeks ago, and he said, no, Steve, we don't set up the scales in the garage area. We don't even set up a garage area. We come off the truck, straight to inspection, straight to the grid. And it made my brain crank. Like, never in my life would I even dream of doing that. You always go in the garage, make some last-minute adjustments. These guys have none of that. They go, when you put it in the truck at the shop, it has to be race ready. Here's that contact Dave mentioned. Ooh. Even tire tracks left by
Justin Haley almost
You know
wrecked my
how
pick.
The track is that left tire tracks. That's life out of those rear tires.
My pick is totally not going to win.
And again, competition caution coming up on lap 40, so just a little over a handful of laps remaining before the competition caution. If drivers were to come to pit road prior to that competition caution, they're not allowed to add fuel. We see the 11 still running in the second spot, chasing down teammate Ross Chastain. Dave.
Rick, you mentioned the competition caution coming up. Brandon Brown battling for his playoff hopes.
Colleague Racing ain't fucking around.
May have an issue.
They do this every week now. They're so much better than they were.
It's reading the water temp 235 and oil temp is blinking red.
Ross is going to win a couple races by the end of the year.
So what do you think, Steve? Trustworthy data there, and what about when it comes to pit road?
Kyle Busch is 11th.
Probably have a good idea of the
Red alert,
separation
red
of
alert.
oil
He's
and
almost
water
in the
stays
top
pretty
10.
consistent week in and week out with your cooling system. So I think you have to understand, what your temps are allowed to be. And if your water's okay, then your oil should be okay. As long as the grill's clean, I would take a look at it as we see some 3-wide racing.
Okay, that was a good ass sandwich.
No, thank you.
Haley was 50 to 1. Well, geez.
39 of Sieg and the 21.
He's looking pretty good right now.
And that Kyle Busch, by the way, guys, is up to 11. So here comes that 54.
And very patient. I asked myself, Rick, so these teams have 4 sets of tires in the pits. So Matt would say you put a set on at the top yellow, a set on at the end of stage 1, a set on at the end of stage 2. You save 1 set of tires in case a caution comes out in the final stage. We saw the truck race be won by not only good trucks, but they put tires on at the right time last night. Could anyone dare not take tires to the calm yellow? You'll end up last. If you could just stay on the lead lap, though, it would be a huge success. But it'd be
Haley's about to have the lead. He's faster than Chastain right now.
Right now, things heating up front.
Competition caution's about to come out, though, in 2 fucking laps, so he better hurry.
Ross Chastain. And here comes Haley.
Yeah, he's going to get it. He's to the inside of Ross.
And already, look at the right front rotor there, glowing red, Steve.
Yeah, this is a track that you not only use a lot of brakes instantly to slow the car down, but you actually stay on them a long time trying to modulate your speed. As you see the 11 turns underneath the 10. We have seen contact between Colleague Racing team cars in the past, but these guys playing very, very nice. I don't think any of the contact in the past
Haley
was
takes the lead.
But I say that because they will race each other hard, which is a race fan you got to celebrate.
Yeah, and I was going to say, Justin.
I'm so used to teammates sucking each other off at super speedways. When Ross made that move on Allmendinger a few weeks ago, I was stunned. I was like, whoa. And I was like, oh, yeah, of course Ross is going to try to win the race. He's not a pussy. And Kyle Busch in the top 10. Red alert, red alert. We have Kyle Busch in the top 10. It's only a matter of time now. Competition caution any time now.
Going to cross the start-finish line again onto lap 41. We're expecting the competition caution now at any time.
We talk about
There it
We
is.
talk about playoffs and all those things, and why that's real and that's the story and the pressure exists. I think when you come to short track racing under the lights, and again tomorrow and then Bristol next week, trophies. These drivers want trophies. You want to win races.
Yeah, you want to win. None of these drivers are thinking about playoffs. We all talk about it, and they talk about it. But when they close that window, they fire those things up. I don't care if you're at 40th. You want to win. You want a trophy. And you want a trophy from Richmond and Bristol. You're exactly right. That's all these guys are thinking about.
I remember when you had mentioned or brought up Kyle Petty.
Yeah.
Kyle Petty's first win came at Richmond, and he said, "I didn't get a trophy, I got a plaque." He goes, "At the time it was shaped it was a wooden plaque, more or less."
Those were nice, man.
You guys remember Kyle Petty's first win?
I've never seen those Richmond ones.
Darrell Waltrip and Dale Earnhardt basically gave it away.
Trophy now that they win here at Richmond, and everyone's going to be fighting for it. But Steve, when we talk with
That track was so slick. Like, Waltrip hits Earnhardt, gets him loose, takes the lead, but he doesn't get clear. Going to 3, Earnhardt hooks him, and Earnhardt hooked him so hard he spun himself out. That's how slick that fucking track was.
4 sets tomorrow, so it changes a little strategy.
Hey, Harrison Burton stayed out and took the lead. Yay. Kyle Busch stayed out. He's up to 4th. Oh, boy. Haley, Chastain, and Briscoe were on pit road. Yeah, I thought 75 laps is a long way on tires here. Maybe this will backfire for Kyle Busch. Cedric got stuck in his box by the 52 getting in the way. Slow pit stop as well.
Just started to get a little too tight at the end of that run there. So they're going to try and loosen up the 10 car from the center, 4 Goodyear tires Still at full fuel, just a little rush on the front there. Ross Chastain for 10. Looks like Justin Haley beat them all out.
Briscoe's first off pit road, but Harrison Burton's the leader now.
But it was guys that stayed out there. It's going to make it interesting. Go bowling 250.
Go bowling. Why is every other race in the Xfinity Series sponsored by Go Ball? Because we don't get sponsors anymore. That's why. Because the Daytona road course race was sponsored by Go Bowling. I liked them better when they were sponsored by Wonderful Pistachios. Boy, Houston Texans fucking suck. About as expected. You know, I thought that on paper, I thought Houston had done a pretty good job because I'm like, you know, they traded Hopkins, which was dumb, but they did fill out a receiving core with some good players, but nobody on that team is anywhere as good as DeAndre Hopkins. They paid Randall Cobb all that money for him to get 2 catches last night when they needed big plays. Defense still can't stop a fucking run to save their lives. Pass rush is okay, just very inconsistent. They weren't getting anywhere last night because they kept having to play the fucking run because that Edwards-Helaire guy was running all over them. So, yeah, it's going to be a long year, Houston. I like Tennessee and Indianapolis much better. I just about want to pick Indianapolis to win that division because I think Frank Reich's the best coach in that division. And this has been your commercial football talk. Come on, Race, come back on. That game last night went about as what I expected. I just didn't think the Chiefs would run the ball that well. But then again, I should have expected it because they're playing Houston. It's going to be a long year, Houston. You know, they always talk about, oh, Houston's won like 4 out of the last 5 divisions. What was their record? Like 9-7, 9-7, 9-7. Then they had like 1 10-6 year. And now that division's way better than it was, except for Jacksonville. Green flag. Kyle Busch 3 wide for third. 3 wide for third. Please wreck. Please wreck. Yeah, a couple of guys bounced off each other. Oh, there's wreck in the back. Mike Snyder. What the fuck? I was wondering what Brad Daugherty was talking about. He said, oh, there they go. Nothing was happening.
So Rick, we need to talk about this. They know that new tires are going by them. This is not about track position. This is purely saving a set of those Goodyear tires.
Yeah.
You got the 20, the 19, the 18, the 54. All of the Gibbs cars have stayed out. And Brad, like I mentioned, the risk.
Kyle Busch made a bonsai move. I wish he would have wrecked. Or wrecked Gregson because Gregson was on the outside. You won 45 on the Kansas City game. That must have been an easy bet. Like I said, that game went as I expected. Kansas City, it was a slow ass whooping. It wasn't an immediate ass whooping. It was a slow ass whooping. As soon as Fairburn missed the field goal. As soon as Fairburn missed the field goal and gave Kansas City the ball back with like, what, 35 seconds in the first half. I said, yep, Kansas City's getting points here, and they're getting a kickoff. That was when that game turned.
Just like you're talking about, Steve, they needed that caution.
It wasn't the same after that, and they come out in the second half and go up 24-7.
They knew the new tires were coming.
That's all she wrote.
They could.
What about Darren? I think was it Fels that missed the block on Tyrann Mathieu on the blitz that caused the interception?
Everybody. Business is picking up.
Business picking up, Brad. We're only like 45 laps in. Maybe now's not the time for business to pick up.
Top of 4.
That's not what you want to hear.
Top of 4. When the spotter tells you that, you know you're in trouble.
Yeah.
No, when you're a crew chief and you're top of 4, you just put your head down and you hope that the spotter keeps talking.
Well, it's interesting, too, because Ross Chastain said, well, doesn't he know he has a brake pedal? Well, I'm guessing that Justin Haley had no idea Ross Chastain was going to have to check up right there. He's on go.
That spotter for the 10 is yelling, inside, inside, inside.
Oh.
Top of 4. I've never heard that before. Talladega.
And again,
The Seahawks should so not be favored over Atlanta.
Wyatt Snyder in the 93 was the one who slid and hit the
I'm a
inside.
Colin Coward. Give me the Falcons. And I don't agree with Colin Coward on much, but he's like, look at the history, man. The Falcons always beat Seattle. Like, it's like Matt Ryan put up incredible numbers against the Seahawks when they had an elite defense. They ain't got an elite defense anymore. I have to favor the Falcons mainly just because they're at home. I don't see how Seattle's a favorite. You know what? The only thing holding Seattle back is their fucking offensive play calling. Seattle has the offense to be 35 points a game up and down the field, but no, they want to come out and run the ball for a fucking half and not do it successfully, and that's why they always end up having to fucking hustle from behind. I saw some crazy stat about the Seattle offense from a year ago. They were like 29th in passing in the first half. It was like something really specific. They got to come out and throw the fucking ball. Seattle's got to abandon that thing. Oh, we're going to run the ball. No, you're not. You guys don't do that well anymore. Russell Wilson's the guy. He's the strength. And they got good receivers. Especially if Metcalf really keeps improving. Metcalf's like a bootleg Julio Jones, but he can get there. We'll see. I don't know. Falcons are known to surprise me in bad ways and good. Probably the most unpredictable team in the NFL because you don't know what the fuck you're going to get from week to week. Last 2 years has been the same. Start off playing dog shit defense, not going anywhere, and then halfway through the season, they want to be the fucking 85 Bears or something and start kicking ass when it's too damn late. That's exactly what they did last year and the year before. Boy, that sandwich was good. I'm still hungry, but no. I got Subway for a reason because you don't get a lot from Subway. I used to never get full off of Subway. Like 1 foot long sandwich ain't that much. Oh, I wish that whole top five would have exploded except for Harrison Burton because Kyle Busch and Gregson were in the middle of that shitstorm. Kyle Busch kind of caused the shitstorm. He went 3 wide there.
Or you can download the mobile app today. There's that choose arrow.
Dude, the most frustrated I've ever been was watching Seattle play Dallas in the playoffs 2 years ago, and it was run. Oh, we're down by 20. Run, pass. Like, it was fucking absurd.
I didn't go, so it was.
Brian Schottenheimer's still the coordinator.
Yeah, right.
Basketball. Oh, and the lights come back on the pace car, so they're not going.
We're waving
this
off the
time.
restart for some reason.
Just one more lap, Brad. One more
So
lap.
look at a little debris, which is another lap.
Debris.
Especially for those drivers that didn't come, and they're going to make those tires last even longer.
Yeah, so we have Harrison Burton, Brandon Jones, Kyle Gregson up front, but this is a big talk about the 8 of Jeff Burton, right? So he's back there, 3 or 4 rows back, 24 laps to go. These tires are old, right? So you see the 8 right there, that state water heater's orange and black number 8. He's going to be a second.
Okay, now we're going
race,
great
second
next
and a half
time.
slower than new tires, to no fault of his own, right? So he needs to.
Cowboys were so fucking overrated, but they beat Seattle in the playoffs because Brian Schottenheimer didn't want to open that shit up. Calls plays like a bitch. That's some John Fox football. Run, pass. Got to mix it up. And in that particular game, they need to open that bitch up and get the ball down the field.
Afraid? I mean, a race car driver? I don't know. Let's see what he does.
I confirm his analysis.
Oh, yeah.
He was outside the 9. They didn't leave the lane.
I'm sorry to hear you're still stuck with Brian Schottenheimer. That's the only thing holding you guys back offensively.
You got Jeff Burton. What are you telling him?
Added some nice players on defense, though.
A good 1 and 2, and then settle in. Don't keep fighting. You know.
All right, 23 to go in stage 1. Can't win my $14 yet, but Harrison Burton's out front, and I like it.
Protect against Haley back there. That black number.
Briscoe's the first car on fresh tires, and he's plowing up through the top 5 right now. He's about to pass Kyle Busch and Brandon Jones through the middle. Busch shut the door on him.
And they did leave the lane again, Rick.
Kyle Busch running
Ooh,
second.
Harrison, a little late. Diving down into 3 to stay clear of Kyle Busch.
Running that second groove as they're.
Yeah, Briscoe's going to win this stage here.
All right, this is what new Goodyear's.
Although Chastain's not far behind, but yeah, here comes Briscoe for the lead on fresh tires.
The 54 of Kyle Busch knows he has to get going because that
Kyle Busch and those guys that stayed out do save a set of tires. That's the only good thing.
So Briscoe's the new leader here on.
Man, Russell Wilson's so good, he's keeping Brian Schottenheimer in a job. That's how good Russell Wilson is.
So Chase Briscoe's out front.
He and Matt Ryan both do. They elevate shit offensive coordinators. Matt Ryan tricked everybody into thinking that Kyle Shanahan's a good head coach.
And then Cindric and Chastain both have the pressure tires. They came to pit road on lap 42.
Just like he tricked him into bringing back fucking Dirk Cutter and how he tricked him into keeping Sarkisian for an extra year.
Around the 54.
That's why Matt Ryan and Russell Wilson are so special. They keep bad people employed.
The success of not coming to pit road is staying on the lead lap. Is that the goal right now?
Oh my God, 4 wide going to 1. Annette, Gregson, Alfredo, Haley. They sorted out. Why is Gregson so slow taking off? Like, Gregson is absurdly bad on the short run.
Later in the race, we have 20 to go in this stage, and Annette continues to push the issue.
Oh, yeah, let him coming, baby.
Riley Herbst about caused a wreck there. Wasn't a surprise me.
Chris Rice. We love Chris Rice and his passion.
Chastain just passed Kyle Busch for 3rd.
You know, you and I talked about this.
No matter how the strategy plays out, I like it right now because it's keeping these guys in front of Kyle Busch.
You know, the 54 just seemed awful patient back there in traffic. We probably knew something was up, right? When he wasn't pushing the issue so much, not burning those tires up any more than he had to early.
We saw Briscoe. We got Briscoe and Cindric out at 1 and 2, and both of those guys last couple of weeks have struggled for them. 11 wins between those two. Back out front, they've had incredible seasons. Could be an incredible night for those two.
So the guys with older tires, Kyle Busch right now, they're trying to hang on to 4th. Then you drop back. Jeff Burton is running in the 7th position. And then all the way back to 14th is where Noah Gregson has fallen. Riley Herbst is running back there with him.
And Cindric's putting pressure on Briscoe for the lead. That feels like the championship battle, Briscoe and Cindric. Although Chastain's coming on strong these last couple of races. That's pretty easy Final 4 to pick. Briscoe, Cindric, Chastain. But the 4th spot's kind of a crapshoot.
Yeah. You know, Steve, we go to a lot of different places.
Probably favors dipshit Gregson because Brandon Jones sucks that bad.
Take a lot of load. If you're at Martinsville, you know, the tire can get...
Don't know what Harrison Burton's got for the playoffs. But 3 of these guys, I'm pretty confident.
Why is that?
Well, it basically, you have to accelerate so hard off the corner. So you go down here, you're on the brakes, Cindric, on the brakes, on the brakes. You see the backfire out of the pipes. Once he picks up the throttle, you are trying to hook up hundreds of horsepower on these rear tires. And if you ever walk,
It's been a pretty fast stage 1. The racing's been good.
Basically, you just burn the rear tires off. So what happens
So like so far, I'm okay with streaming it, even though Kyle Busch is in it.
So now you overslow the car.
Breaking the rule I said at the start of the year.
The only option is to try to accelerate. The harder you get on that gas, the more it burns the rear tires. You watch these cars come off the front straightaway. When we watch Cindric right here, the Navigator Briscoe, you think they're wide open? They're part throttle all the way. You see right here on the left-hand side. Look at this right here.
I said Alfredo's in 20, Casgrala's in 21. My bad. They change drivers every fucking week, and there's no practice. It's Grala. Jeremy Clement's top 10. Wonder what the odds were on him.
He's maintaining, but he's the only one.
Don't forget about that kid named Kyle Busch in the 54.
He's going to be good.
He's still okay. Yeah. Sitting there in that 4th spot on those old tires. And now Allgaier has been able to make the pass. Gets by the 21 of Casgrala. Parker.
You know, a couple of years ago, my friend Cameron's a big Packers fan. And when they were going through that drama with Mike McCarthy and Aaron Rodgers, Cameron was frustrated because he's like, on one hand, I want us to win and be good, but on the second hand, I get mad because if we do well enough, Mike McCarthy gets to keep his job even though he should be fired. And I'm like, yeah, I understand that. Because, like, if you win, you're like, yes, but if you don't, you're like, okay, fuck it, they'll finally fire this asshole. That's a shitty spot to be in as a fan. Hey, Justin Haley passing Kyle Busch for 4th. Well, working on it. Tires have almost about evened out, I'd say. That's probably why Kyle Busch hasn't faded any worse than this.
Kyle Busch is making these old tires look easy because I'm telling you, they are not easy. Kyle Busch very successful in 4th, but there's other cars that are falling back a little bit, Dave.
He's reported to his team. Obviously, the tires are roll, as you mentioned, but tight rolling the center of the corner. Feels like I baked the left front on this run. So, experienced driver knows how to handle that at this point, and really no reason to push it right now. Where's the big prize for Kyle? It's at lap 250.
There you go. You asked how tires get worn. According to Kyle, they keep bake them off. That's a term I haven't heard yet, but it doesn't sound good. It sounds like he's overheated it and cooked it. I mentioned Kyle Busch in the 54 having a good run in 5th. Well, Brad, we talked about the risk. The risk is using the lap. That bright yellow Menards number 19 of Brandon Jones is 23rd. Not a big deal. This is the big deal.
How is Brandon Jones that far behind?
Brandon Jones heading off turn 2.
It's coming.
You
Yeah.
thought Brandon Jones heading off turn 2.
It's coming.
Cedric is heading into faster than the 19. The 19's got to get some laps put down and not lose a lap.
Yeah, he's wheeling that thing. Brandon's trying to get himself up in
Thank God Harrison Burton's dropped. Wow. I guess just them old tires. All them guys on old tires have just
space.
fell off a cliff except for Kyle Busch.
Absolutely hauling around this place. And that is the chance you take with these long green flag runs.
Pure talent.
No laps to go, though. If you can just hang on, you'll be safe.
And let me tell you, if I'm Brian Wilson, the crew chief for Cindric, I know I've perhaps been outsmarted on the chessboard. That's irritated me, so I'm on running the whip. I want you to go catch those guys. Prove to them they made a wrong call. Parker.
Well, you guys hit the nail on the head. Jeff Bender even told me earlier today with these extra set of tires and that competition caution, he said, I think this opens up a lot of strategy. He goes, I'm looking at staying out on that competition caution. If I can stay on the lead lap, I feel like I've won up the field. Well, he said one key thing, stay on the lead lap. This is going to be
Come on, lap him, lap him, lap him. I don't like Brandon Jones.
He's almost more than a second slower than the leader right now.
I think they're gonna stay on the lead lap. They'll be fine.
See the 22, Austin Center leading this
Jones will barely stay on the lead lap, but he'll stay. Allgaier underneath Busch. Michael Annett has passed Kyle Busch, so Kyle Busch is starting to fade now. With just 5 to go on the stage.
And Jones again trying to stay on the lead lap as we see.
But hey, my man Harrison Burton has an extra set of tires for late in the race. Remember that.
Kyle being in the race, he says,
So yeah, I kind of like that strategy. Even though they're sucking ass right now, they've got the extra set of tires. I don't like that Kyle Busch has an extra set of tires.
Racing for the regular season as well as making it into the playoffs, he will respect all of us in this series.
And it's great to have Kyle Busch. It's still, and when you have the veterans like Kevin Harvick, Kyle Busch, those guys come back and race, it gives you an opportunity to see where guys like Austin Cindric and Chase Briscoe, where do they really stand? So I still love to see these guys come back and race and give us an idea. It's a litmus test for all these young guys.
It's like a great mix. I like to see them some, then I like to not have them some, so we can see these guys. I think there's a balance, and NASCAR's found a good job with the balance, because there's also the business side, right? There are partners that want to be in this race on a cup driver.
Yeah, absolutely. That's very, very important. Absolutely. That's what keeps that 54 car running. But like you say, it's a great opportunity to kind of see where.
Okay, 2 to go on the stage. Where's Jones in relation to Cindric?
Talked a lot about guys. This 99 of Miller was on that same plan, was trying to save that set of tires. He looks like he's going to lose a lap. Will he stay close enough to get the free pass? We'll see. The 74 in front would be the next car for the 22 to lap. Even the free pass is success. You'll be back on the lead lap with an extra set of tires for the 99.
1 to go on the stage.
You see that yellow car right there, but with only 1 lap to go, I think success for the 19 and the 39. I hope I didn't say that too early, Rick. and then they slowed down.
And Austin Cindric coming through 3 and 4 for the final time in stage 1. You see in the back there the 98, the charge, but not in
Cedric wins stage 1.
stage
Briscoe second.
2020.
Chastain third. Haley's fastest car on the track.
Yeah, everyone in the top 10 will receive points, stage points. The winner of the stage gets a playoff point. So the 22-year-old from Mooresville, North Carolina, Austin Cindric, success once again.
Well. So the NBA player that had a woman sneak into his hotel room, what a retard. That's all it's going to take to, like, sabotage sports. Just a couple of idiots to do some shit like that. Bring in that Rona. Well, the NFL protocols are really working now. I say that now. We are in week 1. Teams are just now going to have to travel for the first time. But so far, so good. Let's see where we are 6 weeks into the season. My goodness. I really enjoyed Hard Knocks on HBO this year. That was a good season of that. Didn't make my workouts go by any fast. I tried to watch Hard Knocks during my workout, and occasionally it would help, but then like halfway through my workout, I'm like, I want to die. Can the show end fast enough? So Mike Wallace got suspended. Not bad for a guy who races like twice a year. I think I actually felt bad for that dumbass when he got the shit beat out of him at a Rascal Flatts concert in Charlotte a couple years ago. I even called the place of work where those guys that kicked his ass worked at. A lot of people did because Kenny Wallace put the number on Twitter. I remember that. Let's take that back. Mike Wallace, you deserve to get the shit beat out of you. And you didn't die, so it's okay.
And by Go Bowling. Go to GoBowling.com to find a center near you. You know, with bowling centers safely open in 45 of the 50 states around the nation, Go Bowling invites fans to join Go Bowling America. It's a fun, non-competitive fall league. And if you want to learn more and see how you can
There's no such thing as non-competitive.
Go Bowling.
If you're in a league, you're competitive.
Non-competitive?
No,
What do I do that for?
They've never bowled with Phil Parsons. That man can bowl.
Yeah.
Well, he got his own
Butt
shoes.
bowling.
Yeah, got us a couple balls. All right, Dave.
I bet Austin Cindric can bowl, but he bowls a strike into the...
Since Matt Ryan became our quarterback, we are 5-2 against the Pete Carroll-led Seahawks.
Well, Dave, that is not the case for Chase Briscoe, who said, I'm penalty.
It's funny because Falcons' all-time records are kind of bullshit because, like, before 2002, they sucked. Before 2002, the Falcons had, like, 3 good years total. But since Arthur Blank bought the team, they've been pretty good. So it's almost like you have to divide. You can almost divide the Falcons' history into like pre-2002 and post-2002 or whatever. From 2002 on and from 2001 on back. Seahawks are kind of the same way, if we're being honest.
When really the country stopped, but NASCAR and America in sports.
Well, Seahawks were good in the 80s, and that was about it. And then they were good with Mike Holmgren, Sean Alexander, and that bunch for a few years. Then fucking Jim Mora Jr. became the coach, and they were ass.
The United States of America. I see this nation coming together right here. The American and checkered flags out in Dover. Now, very patriotic salute from the winner.
I'm glad I could be the guy to win a race so I can carry the American flag.
Junior won after 9/11. It was rigged. Why are y'all talking about 9/11, dude? All buildings matter. What are you talking about? I'm talking about 9/11. All buildings matter. Okay? All buildings matter.
You know, a lot of his career, that meant so much to him.
It did. It meant a lot to him, and I'll tell you, as a crew member for Jeff Gordon, I remember that day. You know, there's so many races that I was fortunate enough to be a part of, but that day in Dover, you know, none of us knew. We were supposed to go to New Hampshire. The attack happened, and New Hampshire was canceled, and then we didn't know when we would return to racing, and it just, there are moments that are so much bigger than sports. And I remember standing on pit road. I think I was a tire guy or a mechanic for Jeff Gordon, and I was just in awe, Brad. It was very clear to me that this had nothing to do with sports. This was a group of people that just were excited to prove that they were united. They were there together.
Absolutely. You saw the sea of people, and you felt the energy. And you're right. We were all one group, just proud to be together, enjoying a great sporting event. The thing I remember is that was Dale Jr. That was like his 4th win, and he had the volleyball. He had
Wilson.
The volleyball in his car, just like Castaway and Tom Hanks, the movie. And so, what an incredible day, but it did unite us.
Wilson!
He sees, he feels it, and we're united this day. And it was an incredible moment, incredible day, and NASCAR once again. Right,
You know what would make Richmond a better race and Cup? Have it in the daytime. Hot and slick, low down force, high horsepower. Just saying.
Wow, that was a busy stage 1.
It was, and now the drivers are choosing which lane they will restart in.
So, Rick, I know it can get complicated if you're watching at home. Who pitted, who didn't pit, who did this. What you need to understand right now is everybody just came to pit road. Everybody's on new tires. We're going to see who has good cars, see who has bad cars, see who made good adjustments. There are cars that have an extra...
Okay, one of our best years was with that asshole Jerry. Yeah, Jerry Glanville sucked, but he had like 2 good years with the Falcons, 91 and 93. I think 93 was good. I have to go back and look because, like I said, I wasn't a Falcons fan until like 2001 or 2002, whenever it was. I picked a good time, the best time in franchise history to become a Falcons fan.
Great opportunity to get some.
So I'm not as long suffering as say a Browns or a Bengals fan has been. Speaking of Bengals, they're going to be dog shit, but I just want to see how Joe Burrow plays. I don't expect him to win a lot of games. If you can have a good statistical year and not win a lot of games, trust me, I'm a Falcons fan. I know all about that.
Chase Briscoe, winningest drivers in Xfinity, are up front. We'll see if they can hang on to those positions as Ross Chastain in the 10. They can move early to the inside.
I just got to be patient here with Harrison Burton because, yep, we lost our track position, but we got an extra set of tires for later, and I hope they get the chance to take advantage.
Not running over top of each other. So, just like Steve said, we're going to see who's got good race cars, see who can stretch these things
Cindric
out.
launched out to a nice lead there.
One car that proved he was good early, Justin Haley in 11. You don't see
And yeah, keep an eye on Allgaier, too. This is his kind of racetrack. He's been laying low tonight. He's in the top 5 now.
Might have had a hole or whatever. Just want to repair it, kind of button it up with 166 to go in the race.
My favorite Falcons coaches are fucking Dan Reeves, Mike Smith, and God, I hesitate to say Dan Quinn because he frustrates me. Is it sad that I liked Mike Smith better for some reason? It just became apparent at the end we were never going to get over the hump with Mike Smith, but for some reason I liked Mike Smith and tolerated him more than Dan Quinn. I don't know.
And he can look back and learn a lot from Kyle Busch, who started basically shotgun on the field and used patience to come up through the field. It's a great learning opportunity for Justin.
Hey, Jeb Burton's in the top 10.
Young race car driver.
The 8 car has not been wrecked yet.
And he's going to have to be patient because he's got a better race car than most of those racing around. But you don't want to do something foolish trying to force the issue.
And when we talk about Justin Haley, one of the 2 drivers for colleague racing.
Boy, if you're playing fantasy football, you better pick up Clyde Edwards-Helaire for next week.
Haley, at 21 years old.
You know, I feel bad for Houston. You know who Houston plays next week, right? They play Baltimore. Houston had to go to Kansas City. Then they get to play Baltimore next week. They can't stop the run at all. What does Baltimore do? They run. That game could get ugly.
The class of the field this season in the Xfinity Series.
So Justin Haley is a great Jeopardy question when they say list drivers that have won in all 3 national series, because he's done it. He's a Cup winner, an Xfinity winner.
Stop calling Justin Haley a Cup winner.
Hit the trifecta at only, as you mentioned, Rick, at 21 years old.
He's 21 and he's won in all 3 series.
I got a trivia question.
Oh man, that's great. I love when they say shit like that because it's true, but it just sounds absurd. Justin Haley at 21 has wins in Cup, Xfinity, and trucks.
I'll give you one of them.
Are we talking Xfinity Series now?
Xfinity Series.
All right, I want to make sure.
Yep. 3 drivers led every lap.
I'm going to say Kyle Busch is done.
He's won.
Joe Logano, Brad Keselowski, Kevin Harvick.
Really?
No.
Kevin Harvick.
Yes.
How about, did Sam Hart ever do it?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, then there's only one other guy. How about the closer, Kevin Harvick? He's good at Richmond.
No.
I think you're making this.
Well, Dale Jr. led every lap. Is he talking about every lap number?
Statistician tell you about
No,
this?
he did not.
Okay.
That did not.
Okay.
Sam Ard in 83,
Yep.
84, Tommy Ellis in the Goo
Tommy Ellis.
The Goo Goo Cluster
Okay.
Sky.
Wow.
Yes, and Kyle Busch.
What if Brad Daugherty's smoking right now?
Tell me I don't have enough time on my hands. Yeah.
Somebody's been looking on Racing Reference there during the commercial, Brad.
All right, Dave, did you know those three?
No, I failed the Brad Daugherty quiz big time. Brandon Brown, on the other hand, had Richmond as a goal in that black and green number 68. Not just because.
Hey, Brad, can you name it the Cup driver that's wrecked in almost every race this year?
During the summer months.
Oh, wait, it's both of yours.
That was a change from Brandon's whole driving career. Well, you know what? Jerry Brown got to ring the bell.
During the commercial, I'm going to look at Jerry Glanville's Racing Reference page.
Back here at Richmond Race, and he is here.
You inspired me, Jeff.
Valerie and Jerry Brown are watching their son fight to get into the playoffs. He's to the good right now, but the goal for Richmond was reached. Jerry and Mom are here.
That's amazing. Yeah. And that's what Brandon talked about. And he made the comment. He said, man, I haven't been able to see my dad. You know, he was going through treatments, and with, COVID and the way we're in a bubble and racing, he said there was just no way I could go visit him. And he felt terrible. He said, I feel terrible. I can't go see my dad and be around him. But he just wasn't able to do it. So that's great that Jerry's able to be here and watch this race after fighting and getting through his treatments for cancer.
And ran 7th at Bristol back in the spring. He is a short track racer, so I know they don't have the funding of some of the cars up front, but they got the heart to drive, and I think they have the talent behind the wheel. It impresses me with what he does. This right here, these three are the whole story in my mind, right? Family run, family run, family run. That's what the Xfinity Series was built on, and I'm so excited to see it still succeeding within the series today.
Brandon Brown, Ryan Sieg, and then right behind them, Jeremy Clements. Brandon Brown said to us, a top 10 is kind of our win. Well, that was Jerry winning against the fight against cancer, ringing the bell.
Hey, other people have cancer too, they all matter. That joke's never going to get old. Brad smoking that North Carolina tart, yeah. Coincidentally, no tar involved. Well, this race is flying by. We're coming up on halfway in a little bit. It'll be here before you know it. We're at 100 laps. Say, Cindric and Chastain are the two best cars here. Well, I mean, I only say that. That's in their class. I'm just saying, Kyle Busch is in this race. He's probably going to win, but in the Xfinity class, I would say it's Cindric and Chastain. Although, like I said earlier, Allgaier really good here. He's running second now. Damn, Brett Moffitt's in the top 10 too. Way to go.
What lap you on?
100 of 250. Well, now we're on 101 of 250.
101 out of 250.
Yep. Almost halfway there. Don't mess with the guitar too much. Like I said, it ain't mine. Matter of fact, let me see it. Well, hold on, I'll get it in a second. I gotta text somebody. Put it down. Too heavy for you. God, you don't know how to hold a guitar, dude. Yeah, I was dying laughing the other day. I won't say her name, but a friend of mine friend of mine has a friend who had like never played Guitar Hero or whatever. He's like, oh, I want to try that. I'm like, okay, sure. You hand them the guitar controller, they literally don't know how to hold a fucking guitar.
Chance to win $100,000 jackpot on the Sunday night 7.
Rams are winning Sunday night.
250 for the NASCAR Xfinity Series underway from Richmond Race.
So, there's some confidence about that Rams team. I don't know if it was just hard knocks or what. God damn it, I forgot to look at Jerry Glanville's racing reference. Got to remind me.
104 that have been completed.
I'm sorry, Rick. I was going to say some junior motorsports cars, the one of Annette, the 8 of Jet Burton.
I was going to say, it's pretty good. I watched the truck race, and we're seeing more, well, as we see the net get completely sideways there. We're seeing more side-by-side racing here, and guys using that second groove a little bit more than what we saw last night.
I think some of that has to do with just less downforce. Remember, a year ago, the Cup cars ran all that downforce. When you see the race tomorrow night, they are low on downforce like these Xfinity cars. And I think that sliding around allows them to take that second lane into account, and it allows them to use it to some success.
Side by side here, Casgrala in the 21, getting by the one of Michael Annette. Let's get a few updates with 32 to go in stage 2. We'll start with Dave.
Let's head back to this battle. We saw the 51 of Jeremy Clements battling earlier with Brandon Brown. He's gotten around in that black and red car, the chief rival to the green and black car behind him. It's been handling pretty well tonight, but they had an off weekend last weekend. Couldn't take advantage of some problems that Brandon Brown had on lap 2 of the race. So tonight, Clements is trying to claw his way back in, still 45 points behind the 68 of Brandon Brown. Meanwhile, just in front of Clements, that 11 of Justin Haley. Steve, you were wondering earlier if the lug nuts were pushing the issue for the 11 to come back to pit road. It was really a little of each. They kind of thought they wanted to tighten the lug nuts, the team told me, and they needed to work on the nose. So they went and did both while they had the time, Parker.
Well, while we got a dull moment in the race, we'll go ahead and do the Jerry Glanville thing while I'm thinking. Cedric Allgaier, Bush got ahead of Chastain, I see. That's unfortunate. I forgot the E. But I found him anyway. Jerry Glanville.
And they just decided to expand to a massive 6 employees in the last 2 weeks. Great for that 02 team to see them come in this sport.
He, boy. Look at his Xfinity Series numbers. 22nd, 28, 28, 49. Never got a top 20 in Xfinity. Trucks. Did he ever get anything?
After they have reset for the playoffs.
Oh, he's got a few top 20s in trucks. Yep, he's got a few top 20s in trucks, but that ain't saying much.
Yeah,
we have still 40 laps to go in the stage, so.
Get better.
Sounds like a driver.
Well, that's what you like to
Get
hear.
better.
Usually the crew chief's telling him it's fine, it looks good. That's why I used to hear the tartan tell, oh, it looks good, you're going just fine. Keep going.
I didn't know what he said. I heard that so little in my career. I didn't know that was possible. Something could get better. So let's take a look right here. This is Brandon Brown and Riley Herbst.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, wow.
What? Riley Herbst ran into somebody? No way.
Was free or didn't know the 18 was down there. I don't think it was on purpose at all, but he definitely kind of left the wall. We can watch both cars going down the straightaway. I think he's okay. Most of the damage is behind the tire. I get real concerned. You see the G in Goodyear, kind of if you're looking at it like a clock, like the 10 or 11 o'clock area, that concerns me because that can kind of push down.
He's doodling on the guitar. He must be bored.
I think he should be okay. Plus, these composite bodies, they kind of continue to hold their shape even after contact. But remember,
oh my God! Play the few notes you know.
This car has to race again tomorrow.
And that's a perfect segue to what I wanted to talk about. The damage is very minimal here. And earlier today, we asked Wayne Naughton, the series managing director, about backup cars. What would precipitate you all allowing a team to go to a backup car? You remember his answer? He said it has to be undrivable. I mean, that thing has to be basically wrecked before they'll get to pull out a backup car for tomorrow.
You hear that, guys? You have to wreck your primary car before you're allowed to bring out your backup. The more you know. Did you know that? You got to wreck before you can get the backup car out. Ooh, Captain Obvious.
What damage you can. And I think it's great. The fans still get 2 races. The teams get 2 races for 1 bit of travel. mean, Brad, I've yet to see a negative in these doubleheaders. I don't want a season of them, but I think we've seen NASCAR and IndyCar on the same weekend. That was a win. Now we see these doubleheader weekends. Well, if I'm a fan, when I can't wait to see the stands full again, if I'm going to travel to somewhere like Richmond, heck, I got 3 races for 1 trip.
Yeah, they've been outstanding, and as from the ownership side, it's been great for us because financially it's a win-win. And I think that all the teams, other than, as we heard earlier, it's really hard. There's a lot of hard work that goes in. But as you know, these guys work hard anyway. And the opportunity to go ahead and run 2 races, have everyone there, not have to move, not have to go or do anything else but race twice in a weekend has been outstanding. Kudos to NASCAR. And when the fans come back, I'd like to see them give us one more day just so we can interact with the fans.
Go Natalie Decker.
And possibly have some of these doubleheaders because I think they've been outstanding.
I got a championship she can win.
See Brandon Brown at 68, currently running in 16th. Another team at 39 of Ryan C, currently out there in the 11th position. Parker, excuse me.
Well, Rick, I think Ryan discovered something why these doubleheaders might be a little tough for him last. Remember, he got involved in that wreck early on. The right side of that car got destroyed, and then he came all the way back to finish third. He said, I was so surprised. And then his team said, we weren't. You were driving violently mad. They said, the problem we got here tonight, being a doubleheader, we got to protect this car here tonight for tomorrow. We don't want to have to work on it too much. This is our primary. It's a small team. We put a lot of effort in that car. So no driving violently mad tonight, but you're allowed to do that tomorrow. Take all the fenders off it. So if you get to the top 10 tonight, I think that'd be successful, not driving mad.
7 full-time employees. You mentioned a small team. You think about that. These guys are battling against teams that have 100 employees or 200 employees. So it's the small teams that are putting in all the work, to just fight against these guys, to just fight to make the playoffs.
Yeah,
I wish I knew how to play guitar. I wish my brain and hands weren't so retarded, combined together. Oh, Allgaier's catching Cindric for the lead. 5 laps from halfway. Go Allgaier. If I can't win my Harrison Burton money, I'd rather have Allgaier win the race. I should have bet on Allgaier. What was I thinking? Harrison Burton my ass. I just always assume something bad's going to happen to Allgaier.
Traffic ahead. We'll see if that 7 goes up the hill again. Oh, he goes to the bottom this time.
A lot of traffic there for Austin Cindric, race leader, and right now Allgaier is chasing him down, running in the 2nd spot. Up to 3rd now is the 54 of Kyle Busch, Ross Chastain, and Kaz Grala rounding out the top 5.
Kaz Grala running in the top 5. That's outstanding. What a good run for that 21 car.
Yeah, great run.
Yeah.
It's just his 3rd start this season as well, so Kaz Grala really impressive.
I don't know if it's lap traffic or if Allgaier's just faster. I really don't know.
Busy year for Kaz Grala.
Been kind of zoning out for the last few minutes.
Did a great job, too.
Yeah, ran inside the top 10, ran 7th.
You know the reason Jerry Glanville was never in a cup race? That's back in the day when you actually had to work to be in a goddamn cup race. You couldn't just show up.
What's causing this? There seems to be a real calmness at this point.
What was that?
And I think it's calm because, most of these drivers have a pretty big challenge on their hands to control their own car. It's hard to attack.
Jerry
Cindric right here battling this 22.
Thanks for reminding me that Jerry Glanville's the thing. Got to battle for the lead.
Ran that higher exit, the 22.
Go Allgaier. Actually, go Cindric. I don't want Michael to lose his money.
He knows the 7th.
So I'm conflicted here. I don't want Michael to lose his money, but I'd rather have Allgaier win.
Let's see if Justin Allgaier can do it.
Yeah, Kyle Busch is 30. Yeah, Kyle Busch is catching both of them.
You have to ask yourself how hard you want to battle because you're using more tires.
Yeah, and you're looking in the mirror and seeing Kyle Busch behind you, so you better sort it out fast.
You see that outside helping the 7th. The car wiggles all the way to the start finish line. I laugh. There's no grip out there.
We are halfway through this race.
Yeah, guys, run side by side. I'm coming.
Oh, boy, Cindric's car's pushing.
Is Allgaier, is he going to complete the pass?
Nope, not clear yet. Cindric really doesn't want to let him be clear. But he's got no choice now. Now Allgaier's got the lead firmly. 25 to go in stage 2. Chastain's passing Kyle Busch for 3rd. Well, trying to.
You've won races. You've had.
Is Jeff Earnhardt ever going to do good? No.
Some big emotional wins too. His win in Indianapolis was probably one of the.
I don't think he ever will.
Wins that he's ever had. He said, I'm content. He said, really, my career's ended 4 times already. My ARCA career, it ended. I didn't know if I was going to be able to keep going, and now Allgaier, who's content, is probably very content, running up front.
Nope, I don't think he's ever going to do good. That was Black Sabbath. It's like the coolest riff ever. At least I can retire now. The only things I can play on guitar, one of them is Black Sabbath. There you go. I can play one Black Sabbath riff and part of another. And Cindric is fading. I think he just... I don't know if it was just wearing his shit out there lap traffic or what. And then trying to hold off Allgaier, but he just lost a spot to Chastain. Come on, Allgaier, check out. You know, I expected more from Kyle Busch tonight. The best he's done is about where he's running right now. 3rd or 4th. But that's all he needs to do, because his pit crew will get him the lead on pit road for the final stop, and he'll fucking take off. He'll be gone. Wish I had an amp to plug this thing into so it could trick me into thinking I know how to play. Chastain to finish ahead of Allgaier. Oh boy. You know, I felt good about that bet at the start of the night. Still got a long way to go. How the fucking shit go? It's like... Nobody here knows how to play guitar. I don't know why Ben gave me this thing. He must have just been bored.
Next week from historic Wingfoot Golf Club in New York. Coverage Thursday to Sunday on Golf Channel, Peacock, and NBC.
Did I mention I was excited?
Should be a great 4 days. I'm looking forward to a little bit of couch time.
Oh, I can already. I'm gonna have a couple screens going. My wife's gonna want to know what I am doing watching all of these screens.
They're rolling the rough up at Wingfoot. It's almost 3 inches thick. It's going to be incredible. I don't know how much golf you guys watch. It's probably as much as I do.
Not a lot of golf, Brad. Not going to see any golf streams on this channel.
Should be fun to watch.
Speaking of watching,
unless, like, I don't know, Alexa Bliss or somebody wants to start playing golf, then I'd watch. Because I can't stand to watch WWE to see her, so if she played golf, I'd watch.
Sometimes you don't get all the way to full throttle before the tires start finish line late in the race. Then down to 1. See how he's got the wheel turn and he's braking. Now he's letting the car roll. And once again, you're hooking that inside line. Easy back to the throttle. You want to accelerate like there's an A under the throttle pedals. What one crew chief told me back in ARCA years. And same thing. This is one of the trickiest corners because you have to almost go over a hump there. Is let the left side get on the yellow line and ease back to the throttle. And that just continually gets worse and worse.
Are there going to be fans? No, there's not going to be fans tomorrow night. I had to think if they were going to let fans in, but I saw Brett Griffin and Hermie Sadler and a bunch of retards complaining about it, saying it's strictly political. It's like, no, dumbass, we're trying to fucking save lives here. That's why we're not having fans at the goddamn racetrack. It's not political, you stupid fucks. God, people like Brett Griffin are so goddamn retarded. In 2020, trying to save lives is a political statement.
You guys been paying attention. I've been watching.
How'd you forgive Hermie Sadler? He's a dumb fuck. He is from Virginia.
Keeping his car front. He's front right now. He really seems like he's struggling.
And Brett Griffin, I don't really care where he's from. I already just know he's a fucking moron.
One of his favorite racetracks. You have to be just a little concerned. While it's nothing like this racetrack, this will be the tire combination we see when this series crowns a champion at Phoenix at the end of the year. So while the 1 mile Phoenix and the 3/4 mile...
How much you want to bet it's going to rain in Phoenix on championship weekend? Never fucking rains there, but...
You just hope it's a racetrack
It'll rain this year.
for Chase Briscoe, and maybe not a tire combination that he doesn't like.
And by the way, Allgaier won 50. So keep your heads up. Keep watching.
If you can make it into the championship 4, you've got a shot at that championship.
This run by Haley is unbelievable. Plus 20. Remember, you see the tape on the nose. The reason I say it's incredible because it's not just 20, it's 20 positions. But Rick, coming down pit road a second time, he had to start behind some lap down cars. So he has passed well more than 20 cars on the racetrack. That 11 car showed strength early, backing it up here in the second stage.
And Steve, Justin told us this week that Richmond was one of his least favorite tracks last year. They ran really good there, and they've run really bad there, but they ran well in the fall, even though they didn't have the result they wanted, and they were able to figure something out.
Same
Coming
loss.
back to this place, he was more confident. Used to hate it, now he loves it, and you can see why.
So Haley right now holding on to 4th. His teammate
Maybe if dumb fucks would have committed to wearing the mask 7 months ago, or whenever, however fucking long it's been, maybe we could have fans at Richmond this weekend.
Very parallel with how we were running it that day.
If I can't go to Charlotte, I'm going to be bummed, but hey, at least it'll save me some money.
Racetrack if you're not running well, but if you're up front and winning, it's great. Your favorite.
Great, yeah, we're doing 10 of these. 10 races here.
A few more updates before the end of stage 2. We'll start with Dave.
Another playoff-bound driver, Michael, and into the one car. Not locked in yet, but getting there, very close. On the first run, the drive-off went away too quickly.
Brett Moffitt, 7th.
He had to let it roll through the center for a long time. They haven't got it right yet. He restarted 6th, but he's lost positions, Parker.
Well, Dave, his teammate there, Jeff Burton, is not fighting for any playoff berth. He's doing a partial schedule in that 8 car. He told me earlier today, the speed is inside these race cars to go finish top 3 every time I step them. I just need to execute. I said, for a kid who grew up in Halifax, Virginia, what's it mean to race here at Richmond? What's it mean to,
Jesus.
I grew up coming here. I can remember my dad leading a race by almost half a lap, and the drive shaft fell out. He goes, I think this time
I remember that.
I'm going to go get that win here today, Dave.
I think.
Interesting note on two-time 2020 winner, the 20 driver, Harrison Burton, right front corded after 75 laps. So when they stayed out, they definitely used up that right front. But the worst thing for Harrison Burton, being a teenager, just 19 years old.
Worst thing is I'm not going to get $14 tonight.
Can't hang out
That's
with
the worst
his
thing about
friends.
Harrison Burton.
He has to stay distance. He can't hang out at parties, and he's got a championship to win. He told me today he's had to be very adult about this whole thing, and he has been so far. Don't want to get sitting out of race, Rick, because you have the COVID.
Yeah, at 19 years old.
Some boomer somewhere is calling him a pussy for doing the right thing.
To do. Well, Harrison Burton, he took up radio-controlled airplanes, something that he'd never done before.
Ain't no virus, it's a
He
myth.
got stuck in one of the tallest
I was going to
trees
say,
there.
you know, Jeff Shonbluth was looking at it.
They used a fishing pole, I think, at one point in time, trying to catch that plane. It didn't work out so well.
So, Rick, another stage, but the same story for Brendan Jones in the 19. We showed earlier how he was battling to stay in the lead lap. Well, here we are once again. 4 laps.
Brandon Jones tailing the lead lap. This is about where he belongs for his talent level.
Race car than the leader.
He just keeps getting lucky and falling into wins. Kyle Busch is getting passed by Justin Haley. Well, yeah, he's definitely going to get passed here.
Is unreal.
Yeah, I'm looking at his lap times.
Boy, you know the Cali cars have stepped their game up when they're giving Kyle Busch shit.
Faster than everyone. It's really incredible. So he's coming.
It looks like calling racing.
You got 3 laps. Lap Brandon Jones. I mean, he'll get the fucking free pass, but I
Running in
mean,
the second spot, Haley now taking
I don't know why I get
third
excited.
away
He's going to get the free
from
pass.
Busch as Busch battles on the outside. Coming up on 2 to go.
Brandon Brown above, lost a lap there to the 7 of all.
Coming to 2 to go. There's a fucking gnat in my room that will stop buzzing in my face.
By the 19. Now, the one good thing for the 19,
2 to
a little
go.
bit of clear track in front of the leader, so he shouldn't lap another race car. Now, Brandon has got to stay in front of the 68. We'll see if he can do that here with just a couple laps remaining in this stage. Dave.
Just a quick note on Kyle Busch. He said it fired off a lot better, but that tightness he felt in the first run, he came back about halfway through the run. That's what he's battling.
You can just see his car starts off okay, it just goes away.
Think about the fact he just got lapped.
1 to go.
and he won the
Stage
race last
2.
week. He's the most recent winner.
It's
And
humbling.
Now he's a lap down to Justin Allgaier.
Very humbling sport. Tell you what.
Allgaier looking for his.
I like how they're acting
stage
like Brandon
win
Jones
of
deserved to win that race
2020.
last week.
It's the second most right now.
That's fucking
Only
cute.
One race win in 2020, but he's doing things right.
There, Justin Allgaier, stage 2.
Stage win here. That's a playoff point.
Should have bet on him.
He taking the playoffs with that win that he already has. in the top 10, all receiving stage points if they're running in the Xfinity Series full time. Justin Allgaier fighting for every spot he can get, and a big win there in stage 2.
License music. Fucking. Why does this commercial have subtitles? Some kind of song. I'm really looking forward to getting to play Friday the 13th tonight for the first time in 2 fucking weeks. Actually kind of missed that game. Sometimes I get bored playing it, but after 2 weeks of not playing it, I'm kind of ready. So I hope this week is not one of those weeks where we just so happen to not get to fucking play. I'd be very disappointed. I ain't played NASCAR Heat in a few weeks. Bummed. I got it on PC and I played it for like a solid week or 2 and then I stopped. People stop posting their food on their Instagram. Makes me hungry.
It's into stage 2 at Richmond Raceway. Pit stops happening. You see the leader, Justin Allgaier, leading down the 2 Colleague Racing teammates. Second place, Ross Chastain, and the 11 of Justin Haley is in for 3rd place. Car is good. Just a tear up in the windshield. Little drink for the driver, partner.
Jason Burnett, crew chief for Justin Allgaier. Allgaier told me that he's so good here because he can just make up for deficiencies in the car. You see that Justin right here because he was lacking some drive off in that 7 car. For Ross Chastain, same situation. He said that car has not changed throughout this race. He cannot get the power down. So it looks like Justin
Allgaier keeps the lead. Where's Harrison Burton? Not even close to the front. Not even in the top 10. Boy, I really whiffed tonight. Harrison Burton's getting outrun by Tommy Joe Martins and Brett Moffitt. That's how many good decisions I'm making. That's stupid. Oh, I know who to look at on Racing Reference. You're going to like this. Vince Neal. From Motley Crue. Ran a few Indy Lights races. Yeah. How'd he do? He finished 12th out of how many cars, though? 16. His sponsors Say No to Drugs. Look at that. Vince Neal was sponsored by Say No to Drugs. What? Oh, must have still been part of that community service. Say No to Drugs. Yeah. Wait, what was his best finish? 12th. Yeah. Oh, wait, he had 10th here at Milwaukee. 10th out of 13. See? Oh, man, guys, he got a top 10 out of 13 cars. believe he kicked out of Motley Crue at this point, because the Motley Crue album that he wasn't on came out in '94. This is in '92. I don't know.
IndyCar Series in Ohio, their first race.
Say no to drugs. So says Vince Neil.
That is race 2 of the playoffs already. Kevin Harvick locked himself into the next round with his win last weekend. Who can do the same this weekend here at Richmond? Again, it's a different schedule for the Xfinity Series. And
got an Xfinity race tomorrow afternoon. God damn it, I have to get up. That sucks.
In stage 1, but everybody on a level playing field. So who stands out, Steve?
Well, I think it's obvious Justin Allgaier has a good car. He won that stage, but the 11 of Haley started all the way in the back and drove it up inside the top 5. I think his car is outstanding. The concern for both of those cars is they're now sitting with one set of tires in the pits. Shouldn't be an issue as long
Please
as
let my guy take advantage of that extra set.
All 4 Gibbs cars, the 9 of Noah Gragson. There are some cars that have an extra set, one of them being Kyle Busch. That concerns me.
Yeah, that sucks. So I'm sure it'll work out great, but Kyle Busch will win.
I actually think Kyle Busch was faster, Steve, on the old tires. I think he was the car to beat. I think that watching lap times, though, I think Justin Haley, he's been 2/10 quicker than everyone in the field. I think he's the car
it's
to beat.
Allgaier, Chastain, Cindric, and Haley, followed by Casgrell and Kyle Busch.
This is going to be a lot of fun to watch. It's just now heating up, boys. Pulling chairs.
Less than 100 to go. This has been a quick race.
Big boys getting ready to get after it.
For once, we get a quick race.
Let's get ourselves something cold to drink
baby.
and enjoy the final stage from here at Richmond Raceway. It's short track racing under the lights on a Friday night. And Allgaier and Chastain coming back to the green flag. Austin Cindric in the 22 making that inside lane work as well.
I have no dog in this fight as of now. Somebody's got a Brandon Brown was smoking back there.
You saw the same thing I did, so we got that left front. Yep.
Again, some more smoke as they go through 3 and 4, but up front, the fight for the lead, the fight.
These two guys are going to eat Allgaier alive. Allgaier's just not aggressive enough. Chastain's desperate and wants to win. Cindric's just more aggressive than Allgaier.
Fighting still.
And it's very interesting to watch who's good on new tires in case you get a short run at the finish. I'm making some notes here, Brad, making sure, are we good, are we not? Maybe ask my driver after 10 laps.
You know, for the few drivers we have in the series, I feel like we have too many Xfinity races.
Yeah, and Ross was really patient in that last segment, just kind of so we kind of forgot about him. You know, he had a great run early on in the race, led the most laps and led finished the rear starting this race out. So that car's coming back to life. We're going to sprint to the finish here to the end, and I think he's trying to put himself up front to take advantage of some track position and give himself another shot at a victory.
And Steve, fuel doesn't come into play. The fuel window larger than any of the stages, so it's not an issue, but the tires definitely come into play if you would get a caution in this final stage.
Without a doubt, they have more than enough fuel to make it, but as we continue to say, most of the teams have 1 set, some have 2 sets. You know, interesting, you know, in a cup race, you could argue that somebody may pit under green because the tires get so slow. You could just split this in the middle, put a new set of tires on, go out there and run it back down. I don't think the risk is worth it in the Xfinity Series race. I think all of these guys are going to nurse the tires.
Now, Cindric's definitely showing that short run speed right now.
Final green stretch run was 79 laps longer in 5 of the last 10 races.
But he falls off so bad.
So it's going to be interesting as we get to go to the finish of those tires.
And big Jason Burdett right there on the right side of the screen, crew chief for Justin
Haley's
Allgaier.
third.
I know he knows that stat, and right now with the leader, that's the stat you're looking for. Let's just let this thing run out. We proved that Justin Allgaier really does a nice job of taking care of those rear tires. Remember, he didn't take the lead right away. He kind of drove up there and took it after some laps. So you wonder how much he's kind of backing up. I would say Penske in general, very general statement, even on their cup cars, they're new tire cars. They fire off on new tires as good as anybody. I'm not sure that's exactly what's the deal with the 22. We'll have to see as this long run goes. But it wouldn't surprise me if he's good on new tires.
Yeah, tires. Harrison Burton earlier on in the run reported cording his tires. So, like you said, Steve, this racetrack is absolutely eating these race tires up. You've got to be smart, manage those tires. Be a little bit conservative right here. Get to the end, then go racing.
I'm really impressed. The 0-2 right now, Brett Moffitt, again, finished 4th in the Truck Series race last night. Fighting right now with Ross Chastain for the 4th position here.
You know, we always use the moniker at the speedways, the great equalizers, the draft. Well, I think another great equalizer we don't talk as much about because it's maybe not quite the same, are the short tracks. Aerodynamics, not as much. Horsepower, not as much, because you have to have handling, the experience of a short track racer like Brett Moffitt. It's just great to see, and I think this is why we saw that news about California Speedway being converted to a short track brand. Fans love short tracks because I think fans love underdogs, and it gives an underdog like Brett Moffitt a chance.
Yeah, and like that 8 car, Jeff Burton running 6th there, having a great night. Think about this. This is going to be the first weekend for Jeff Burton when he gets to actually run both races. You know, all these back-to-back weekends, he's got to run one night, and someone else runs the next. He gets to run both races. He's having a great run right now. If he can maintain, get a good, strong top 10, maybe even a top 5 finish, that's a great night for that 8 car.
I don't know what kind of odds you're going to get on it, Rick, but if you just said, hey, at one
Yeah,
point,
something's going on here. The 8 car's not been wrecked. It's still running.
people would have said no way.
No way.
Well, and what a feel-good story Brett Moffitt has become this year. I mean, he runs full-time in the Truck Series, but right as the pandemic was hitting, well, Brett Moffitt was...
I can't believe Brett Moffitt's in the top 5.
And broke both of his legs, broke both of his femurs, and
He's going to win an Xfinity race before he wins a truck race this year.
The pandemic coming in and giving him the opportunity to not have to...
Probably not, but, you know.
Vehicle. He's been able to recover, but here's a kid who broke both legs, and now... he is running up in the top 5 in the Xfinity Series, in a series where he doesn't run full time.
And I can assure you, he told me the first-hand account of that story.
Yeah.
Oh boy, I won't repeat it.
Not fun.
I mean, that's
Justin Haley just passed Cindric for second. Lap 169. Nice.
Parker, what's it look like from pit road up to that 0-2?
Well, listen, you talk about the great equalizer.
So Haley's second, Moffitt's fourth, and Jim Burton's fifth. What a time to be alive.
They've also been running
Screenshot that top 5.
How many they have? Two engines, and they've been running this whole season. And one of those engines inside that race car right now runs that top 5. No doubt a great equalizer. Great job by Brett Moffitt, that Auto Motorsports team, to be beating these bigger teams.
Love his attitude, Rick. He's in the 0-2 to get better, to get laps. Here he is showing up running inside the top 5.
I think he's impressing. A lot of people obviously watching, and he's impressing owners, I'm sure, as well. Out front, and he has been impressing for quite some time. Justin Allgaier, after winning stage 2, leading.
4 out of that 5 in the top 5 I really like. Just guess which one I don't like. Kyle Busch is getting outrun by Brett Moffitt. You're not dreaming. Not that Moffitt couldn't outrun Kyle Busch, but I mean, the car that Moffitt's driving, they should not be outrunning Kyle Busch. But here we are. 2020 is weird. Justin Haley's finally getting like a fair shot at the lead. There's nobody between him and Allgaier. And he's closing in. Angela Ruck. Please don't remind me. Josh Rayholm's been driving that truck, hasn't he? And Justin Haley takes the lead. I'm just not used to the Collie cars being so strong anywhere other than a super speedway, unless it's Ross Chastain, because he's good everywhere. But now if Justin Haley's kicking this kind of ass on a short track, you know they've made gains. We got 2 Joe Gibbs cars not in the top 12, and Kyle Busch is getting beat by Brett Moffitt. And Justin Haley. This is magical. 75 to go. Do you know how I've been doodling on that guitar? Doodling on a real guitar has totally fucked me over in Guitar Hero. I played Guitar Hero today when I got bored, and I was like, God damn, I'm not as good as I was because I've been fucking around with them real guitars. God damn it. I can't play plastic guitar as well because the real guitar's fucking with me.
You can go inside the headset with access to NASCAR scanner for only $4.99 during the playoffs. Listen on.
That's cheaper than the WWE Network.
Spotter communication for crew chiefs, drivers safe throughout the race. Go to NASCAR.com/scanner, and the 11 of Haley is out front. This is how
Rick Allen, very observant.
Non-stop.
This car, Rick, is just turning the middle of the corner so good. He turns underneath the 7. Watch that left front tire. It never leaves that yellow line. It's so much better at changing direction. I think that just takes the pressure off him on corner entry, corner exit, and Haley doing a remarkable job.
Haley really is putting on a show here. And Brad, we can hear it in your voice how much fun it seems like you have. How about the different views here of Brad Doherty?
Yeah, look how far back I'm sitting. You can see my head. I'm all the way back near the left rear tires.
Is your foot right there by the left front wheel?
Oh, that's a bad-looking race car. That was one of my first old late.
That is a cool-looking race car.
That's a good look, man. Robert Presley. Look at that old race car. It had fender fatigue everywhere we went to race. He used to wear them out, though, that thing, man. Oh, man,
Robert Presley.
50 pounds ago. Oh, there we go. Yeah, hot rodding around. That's Martinsville. I ran about 200 laps one day up there in a Craftsman truck. And I tell you, I ran fast enough to qualify inside the top 15 in Truck Series. But you know why? I was on a bias ply tire. We switched the next day, and I got on a radio. I'd never been on a radio.
Yeah.
I made 2 laps, and I'm back to the fence.
So does this mean now that, Brad, you're the...
Moffitt is catching Cindric for
You
third.
don't want me now. It's a bad-looking deal watching me.
Now I just want Moffitt to win this race. Although Kyle Busch is starting to get better. He's come alive. He's back in the top 5. It wouldn't surprise me. I know he's going to catch Cindric. If he catches Cindric, he's going to catch Moffitt.
Front 4, 1 set. Kyle Busch with 2 sets. Gregson 2 sets. Harrison Burton back there with 2 sets. The strategy for them is to get a couple yellows. We have seen 24 laps run right now, so if the yellow comes out, it's going to be decision time for those guys with 1 set. Do they dare put their last set of tires on now? This means
I think as soon as that caution comes out, at this point, you have to put the set on and just hope you don't get any more cautions after a few laps. You get a caution after 5 or 10, you'll probably be okay. But if it's a little bit longer run, there's another caution, you're fine.
The potential that track time is helping these guys out, because Brett Moffitt was on this track last night. It was a different vehicle, but at least he had that track time, and now he's showing that it's paying off.
Track time, but you have to have a horse to ride. This 0-2, this R Motorsports, Joe Williams has done a nice job of showing up close. I'm not taking away from Brett's talent. I think he's exceptionally talented. But, race car drivers will tell you I can only drive as fast as it's willing to go. And late in the race, they're continuing, which tells me good communication and good adjustments.
You talk about this race team, this 02 race team with 4 to 6 employees, 2 engines. Chris Auer, the owner of this 02, his motto is, if you don't have a love for racing, I don't want you on my team. And it's showing up tonight. Great job by these guys. Like you say, Steve, they've got a good horse, and they got a good guy riding. They got a cowboy riding that thing. He is doing a great job.
I mean, look at the experience right here. He moves up. He knows that 22's not going to give him the bottom of the racetrack.
Yep, Kyle Busch is going to pass both of these guys.
The outside of the racetrack, he's going to
Well, we enjoyed an underfunded car outrunning Kyle Busch for a little while, but it's over now.
He's driving to go forward, not worried about going backwards. That's what I like to see.
Oh, John Madden, the leader of the race, is usually in first.
Champion now fighting right now.
Is it Brett Favre?
Here at the short track Richmond Raceway.
Great job, Kyle.
John Madden loved him some Brett Favre. He loved Brett Favre like you read about.
They set their playoff field last night. We've talked a lot about the 4th place road. Moffitt in that
And
playoff
just like that, Kyle Busch is up to third
Moffitt and Kyle Busch have raced a lot.
with 2 sets of tires left in the pits.
He knows what to expect. So he's
Haley's 2.5 seconds ahead of Allgaier, though.
Cindric there as well. And
Just
so
waiting
now
for something to happen now.
Up to the 3rd spot.
I'm sure there will be more cautions.
Moffitt's working on Cindric as well.
So he was down on the bottom of the racetrack
There you go.
to make the pass. He set it up on the high side. And now Moffitt has moved into 4th. Cindric back to 5th.
Can't say enough about that. That's a great run for that 02.
How about Cascarala as well in 21?
Still hanging tough. He's run 5th or 6th all night long. Finished 5th in the 2nd stage. Got some quality points. He's done an outstanding job.
Cascarala just in front of Ross Chastain.
I was a little concerned about Chastain. He had fallen back. I don't know if he was saving tires or if the car just didn't drive good. Maybe they made an air pressure adjustment, got on the splitter. Starting to fight back a little bit, though, here. I would tell you, if they go 95 laps to the finish on this set of tires, woo!
They can be on the boards.
They'll be getting good fuel mileage because they'll
Somebody will blow a tire if this goes too long.
You're riding on that radial.
What a great view here from the helmet cam. Riding along with Ross Chastain.
Yeah, Nutrient Ag Solutions, they provide this helmet cam, it seems like about every week. Can't thank them enough. It just gives them, you know, the fan a great perspective, whether it's here, whether it's on the roof, whether it's a side panel, so many great shots.
Jeb Burton, well, there you go. The 8 car's behind the wall. Something finally happened.
Behind the wall.
Jeb Burton behind the wall.
Great run.
Well, he came on the radio about 20, 30 laps ago reporting brake shake, which is something we hear often at Richmond, right, Steve? Where
Brake shake. How low are they in owner points now?
heating them up for flashes of time, and they started to shake, but then it continually got worse to the point where he came across the radio and said, we've got a serious problem. They pulled the car down pit lane and decided to put it behind the wall to take a closer look.
Well, on the plus side, the car's still in one piece for once.
Unfortunate for Jeb Burton. He doesn't get a lot of starts.
This will be a good day for Daniel Hemrick.
Advantage of every stop that start that he has in every race that he can run. As Justin Haley is up front, but here comes Kyle Busch to go astronaut stop.
Oh, well. Yeah, that locked up some money for you, Michael. Harrison Burton, 14th. Come on. How did they miss it that bad? How? Brett Moffitt's still 4th, though. He's still ahead of Cindric. So, while we got a dull moment in the race, I know this is a NASCAR stream, but let's, anybody want to pick games? So, I'm 1-0 this week. I picked Kansas City, like everybody else should have. I don't know why anybody would have ever picked Houston. Philly at Washington. Potential upset, but I doubt it. So I'll say Philly. Miami at New England. That's tough. I can't believe I'm saying this. Miami at New England is a tough game to pick. I don't know who to pick there. I don't know. I'll say New England. Green Bay, Minnesota. Minnesota. Indianapolis is ain't nobody picking Jacksonville. Give me Chicago or Detroit. That's a tough one. Raiders, Panthers is tough, because I think they both suck. We got to think about this. We'll come back to that. There's some tough games to pick, though. So, yeah, Justin Haley's 3 seconds almost ahead of Allgaier. Kyle Busch is about a second behind Allgaier, so Kyle's really about 4 seconds behind Haley. 50 laps to go. I smell cautions in our future. Justin Haley said he's barely driving. Well, goddamn, he's fast.
Barely driving it, Parker.
Well, Dave, Justin Allgaier, who's trying to chase him down, may have saw this coming. His extra drivers are very observant, I might add.
The longer this goes, the more it benefits the guys with just one set left.
mean, that 10 was just blaze at the rear tires, heavy braking the whole time, and yet still was able to make a charge at the end.
So that's like a double whammy of race cars being able to basically.
You know what, Jeff? I'm going to say New England for sure because they're going to be out for blood after last year.
Justin mentioned at the beginning of the run, Parker. Well, that is the strength for Austin Cindric, but right now the 22 car has fallen back as the laps go on. His car gets worse. Steve, you know these cars have a tail and they have a nose. They said for tomorrow we got to take out some nose. What does crew chief Brian Wilson mean by that?
Sounds to me like they're going to slide that lead in the frame rails back, take a little bit of weight off the nose, should help that car change direction. Fight tight here. Brad, you and I were talking about it in a commercial. You know, we talk a lot about loose off. Some of that can be because it doesn't change direction.
Right.
So now you're pointed the wrong way. You got a bunch of steering wheel in it. You're trying to pick up the gas. Most everything we see Justin Haley flying. We started his car changes direction good. If the car changes direction, it just opens up so many options to fix everything else.
Yeah, and he doesn't have to use the throttle at all. You know, that car is so good. It's planted. You heard him talk about planting that car. How does it feel? He's rotating. You can see that car. He's 2/10 faster than everyone. He's gained 37 positions on the track today after starting 10th and making an extra stop to repair his nose. That's how good that car is.
Right in between Justin Haley, who is leading the race, and Cindric, who's running 5th, is the driver running 3rd, that 54. I want to take a look at the Toyota driver update for Kyle Busch. Started back in 29th, worked his way up into the top 10. Kyle has not been able to get out front and lead this race. He has always been battling right around the 3rd, 4th, 5th position, and right now holding on to 3rd, Dave.
Best the car has been all day, and you can credit Kyle for giving the feedback to crew chief Jacob Cantor. Jacob was going to crew chief this car this weekend to begin with, but then on Monday he got a call from Adam Stevens, Kyle's
Cindric
crew chief, as you see
around the outside of Moffitt.
Still between the 0-2 and the 22 above. But he got a call
Don't think Moffitt's got anything left now. He's been overachieving tonight.
At the end of Darlington. He said, you're going to have to crew chief 2 races for Kyle Busch that weekend. And Jacob told me today earlier, the only way I could do that was with no practice. There would have been no time to concentrate on both this 54 and the 18 tomorrow night for Kyle's Cup ride. But Jacob said, I'll do it. He's doing it pretty well tonight. They got the car the best it's been all night.
Best it's been, and normally when you say that and Kyle Busch is behind the wheel, he's running up front. But right now he's got stiff competition with Justin Haley, Allgaier running in the 2nd spot. The battle we just saw between Cindric and Brett Moffitt. Cindric has been able to get by Moffitt, so Cindric running in the 4th spot. Moffitt drops back to 5th.
We've talked a lot about the 0-2 turning heads and attracting attention. Well, I think the best judge of talent is up.
Dude, of course Brett Moffitt's undervalued. This dude should have a top rod in this series. He should have Hert's rod or Jones's rod or Michael Annette's rod, for God's sake.
Listen, everybody would like to have Denny Hamlin, but I don't know what he gets paid. I'm sure it's a lot. He wins a lot of races. You know, at some point, you have to put together a business model. You see somebody like Brett Moffitt doing a nice job of getting the right people's attention in that part.
Doesn't Denny Hamlin want to start a race team or something? Or buy into an existing one? Get Moffitt a rod. Hey, Moffitt to the 43 next year. I wish. Only 40 to go.
They're hoping it comes back to them later, but can take their tire right now.
You know, we talk about going too early. When I look up the lead, I know Haley has a great car, but Allgaier has run him.
Yeah, wow, Allgaier's catching Haley again.
We talk about Darlington. There's some tracks it's August. Richmond is a short track. Darlington. These tires only have so much life, and if you push too hard, you don't get it back. When it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah, Haley is falling back quickly into the clutches of the 7 of Justin Allgaier. It was 2.7 seconds not that long ago.
Half a second now. Less than half a second for Allgaier behind Haley.
Justin Allgaier's 330th start. This is not new to him. The experience can pay. We will see versus the 11, right? When you talk about Haley, a great race car, you know, but this is his 60th start.
But it was Allgaier who mentioned, he said, hey, these colleague racing cars, they are able to take off fast and they burn up their tires, but then they're still fast at the end. Well, right now he's trying to prove that they're not as fast as he is at the end.
Yeah, and that shows his experience, too. He noticed that and observed that, and now he sees him coming back to him. And also, I want to go back real quick to your point on a guy like Brett Moffitt, Steve. Yeah, that's excellent. You know, as an owner and as people watching, they're watching guys like that. I want to see a guy in lesser equipment do great things as opposed to a guy in great equipment who should do great things. You know, can you show me a guy like Brett Moffitt? I know his background, his history. He's been around a long time. He's proven absolutely deserves an opportunity at the cup level. No doubt about it.
And he has experience. I mean, he was 2015 Rookie of the Year. You know, for Michael Waltrip, a couple of the cars, so not new to him. I'm telling you guys, I look at our time and scoring page. The longest green flag run of the day was 68 laps. That was stage 2. Who won stage 2? 7 of Justin Allgaier. Now, I know Haley came from the back. An amazing run.
Kyle Busch is closing a little bit. He's still 2 seconds behind, but he cut down onto that lead as well.
Closer between first and second. Now, I don't know if Haley is just backing up and saving tires. If he's doing that, then he's showing a ton of maturity for.
Well, Justin Haley did say he was barely driving the thing, so
Allgaier has just been patient, waiting his turn. I mean, you see
we'll see. 34 laps.
Absolutely is, and in that stage where Allgaier was successful, it was a long run car. It was set up for the long run, and I think that's where he's at now. Obviously, because Haley is actually starting to come back to him pretty significantly. Exact identical lap times that lap. So yeah, I think the experience is going to pay off here.
Maybe seeing some maturity coming out of the driver who has only won on super speedway. Justin Haley has only won at Daytona and Talladega. Well, if you say only, that's a pretty big deal when you can win at the biggest racetracks. But can you transition to a short track and also be able to show your skill behind the wheel? That's what Haley's trying to do right now, trying to hold off Allgaier as they're getting into lap traffic.
Still.
Okay, that's random. NBC app just decided to close on me. Oh, not to go. You're not a subscriber. What are you talking about? Now it's telling me that I'm not subscribed to this. Oh, I gotta restart my app. Okay, that's weird. Magically, in the last 5 minutes, somehow we are no longer a subscriber to NBCSN. That's why I hate using this fucking app. Northland Cable, can you get NBCSN in HD, please? Thank you. Oh, it wants me to. I have to activate it again. Well, that's fucking retarded. Hold on, I gotta, for some reason, I reactivate the NBC thing. That's nice. I don't understand that. I can just randomly be like, hey, you need to activate this again. Why? Because it was working 5 seconds ago? Oh, no. And then before it'll let me watch again, it's going to make me watch ads. That's okay. It's just an Xfinity race. I'm not really fucking worried about it. Yes, Xfinity. The fuck? Yes, stay signed in, please. How about that? Although, when you click stay signed in, it doesn't even matter because it's just going to randomly sign you out anyway. Which defeats the purpose of having a stay signed in feature. When every month or so, it's just going to randomly kick you off anyway. Still green.
There was a time when brothers riding together.
I get to watch ads for a minute. Oh, I missed the lead chance. See, Justin Allgaier took the lead from Justin Haley. Well, I'm glad I missed that, NBC app. Thank you. Allgaier has taken the lead. So now you know there's going to be a late caution or something. Now you know it. And those guys with the extra set of tires are pretty much fucked at this point. There's not that many laps to go.
This time, Brandon.
Yep. Allgaier's clear for the lead.
Get in front of him.
Well.
He fights back. Haley not wanting to give up that spot.
There you go.
But Allgaier takes it.
The 1 week I don't put some faith in Allgaier.
Obviously seems loose, but he always seems to have that condition. I just think that's the way he loves to drive his race cars. a little bit loose, a little bit squirrely. And like Steve said, he's 2 lanes up, so he's not got a lot of pressure.
See, Jim Burton's back on the track. At least they'll get to finish a race for once.
He's rolling that center so well. You can see from the brake blow in the 7 car, he's hardly even touching the brake.
Yeah, you saw the 8 go by. Remember, he was behind the wall for a bunch of laps. I'm sure they're going out right now, just learning. Remember, they got to race tomorrow, trying to learn all they can.
18 laps down is Jim Burton right now. So tried to gain a lap, I guess, by getting back by race leader Justin Allgaier. But now Allgaier, who was able to go out there and win stage 2 with only 24 laps to go.
Kind of hoping for a caution. I'm bored.
Drifting back just
And Harrison Burton's last car on the lead lap.
He's 2.6 seconds back. Then it's Austin Cindric, 5.6 seconds back. Chad
Swing and a miss.
is over 8 seconds back. Over 9 seconds back is Moffitt. Casbrala, 11 seconds back. So you look back there and you think the closest competition is Haley, and he just went by him. It looks like Allgaier could just run away with this one.
Well, still 23 laps to go. Caution can change anything. Surprising.
Somehow, some way, Kyle Busch will still wind up winning.
The 20 of Harrison Burton, a normal paint scheme for Harrison. Morton Buildings on the hood tonight. I know he had a high expectation to run good at the short track. Has never run out of the top 10, Brad. But
Yeah, that's what I was thinking when I said maybe I could steal a little money on him. Well, nope, he just got lapped. So
Yeah, you can see that race car. Harrison's really struggled with that car tonight. The nose just.
that's as bad as he's run all year.
So it's been ill handling. He's done a good job of keeping.
By the way, Allgaier's not done with Haley yet. Haley's not going he's not going away.
Traffic does. As the 7 passes traffic, the 11 gets back to his bumper. It's just, I think it slows anyone down who's the leader to get through traffic. We'll see if Haley can mount a charge.
You think the 7 went too quick?
I don't know. That's a good question. I was concerned to see the temperature. You see it again. The right front brake road on the 11 is absolutely glowing. The 7 isn't at all. It's not a brake issue.
Is Haley going to pass post-race?
How hard he's pushing it? Is he having to use that much brake? And if you are, that can hurt the front tires.
Hey, Grant, Haley's team
20 to go.
the exact same thing. We're wondering if the 7 pulled the trigger too quickly. Can the 11 come back and get him?
And can Kyle Busch get him? Kyle Busch has got it under 2 seconds now. With a whole 20 laps to go.
He's going to drive off. I thought it was going to take a yellow, but the 11 has come back wrong.
But is Allgaier racing just to stay in front of the 11, not wearing his stuff out?
The 11's the fastest car on the track that lap. So I think, for me, I think Allgaier went a little too early. And I think
It's a disappointing race for Briscoe. He's only 10th.
He likes a loose race car. But I think he's starting to knock the goodie out of those tires.
You hear that? He's starting to knock the goodie out of those tires.
And put a launch here in about 5 more laps.
Pass me or catch me is one thing. Pass me is
That's a
another.
different story. That's a
I would
different
just assume be the leader.
Yeah, and how aggressive will you get trying for that win? And at a short track, it's almost acceptable to sometimes put the bumper to a guy if you want to take the spot.
I would say expect it.
So,
And these two don't want to mess with each other. Kyle Busch is 1.8 seconds back. He hasn't shown the speed. But you get side by side, you get caught up in traffic, and then yellow number 54 right there.
Nobody's better at getting through lap traffic than Kyle Busch.
I know he's not having the best year, but the man's won 97 races. I just assume not racing.
Nobody.
Exactly.
well, maybe and he has saved his stuff to the point where he realizes it's go time, maybe inside of 15 laps. This one's been a quick one. After the race.
Oh yeah, Ernie Irvin was on the Dale Jr. Download. Once again, I'm only about 3 months behind on Dale Jr. Download episodes.
Ernie Irvin was the guest.
Wow.
At least I'll have stuff to listen to during the off season to hype me up for next year.
That's gonna be so very special Dale Jr.
At this rate.
Coming up after the race. Well, it's going to be exciting. We know
Well,
that.
it's stabilized at half a second. Haley was putting the pressure on it, but now they're on cleaner racetrack. I think it's going to take some traffic to get it done.
Lurking in the back, running in the 3rd spot.
Kyle Busch hasn't gained anymore. He's still 2 seconds back. It looked like he might gain, but when they're on clear racetrack, it's all good. Anybody but Kyle Busch. Boy, that 78 didn't do Allgaier any favors. That 78 just got all up in the way.
But now the 11 has to do the same thing. Get by the 78.
Why is it so hard for some of these guys to get the fuck out of the way? I don't understand.
Eggshells, Rick. Eggshells.
Look at that car skate all the way to the fence. Just barely catch
78 is not important enough for me to remember who's in it,
get it turned.
so I don't really care, but get the fuck out of the way.
Last one on.
236 of 250.
Well, man, as we watch these guys slide around, what have we been saying all week? We've been talking about how Austin Cindric and Chase Briscoe have been the leaders, the top two
After the
in
race,
this
I'm
series.
working out for about
Who's
30
gonna rise
minutes or
up
so.
to be that third best
I'm
car,
taking
that
a shower.
fourth best car, so as we rumble towards Phoenix? I talked to a lot of drivers today, and every single one of them said,
Close to the Tampax 10 to go. Oh, if only.
He thinks the Phoenix, he is so good there. I know, Steve, you have strong opinions about this, but Jason Burnett said, we feel like this place relates to Phoenix a little bit. If we have a lot of speed here, we might learn a thing or two for Phoenix and bring even more there. And I think the 7's making a serious statement.
Brandon Brown must have pitted and be on fresh tires because he blew by Kyle Busch a second ago. Now he's passing Allgaier.
Phoenix, Bristol, Dover, 3 tracks I think of.
This lap traffic's hurting both of these guys. But luckily for Allgaier, it's hurting Haley almost as bad as it's hurting him.
Looking for a second win in the last 5 races. You got to remember, he only won 1 race in the prior 60, so that experience is starting to come through, and he's put himself in a great position this evening. About 10 laps to go. We'll see what happens.
11 to go right now. They just crossed the stripe. 11 to go right now. They just crossed the stripe.
It's NBC, I swear.
Traffic is slowing both
Run that back, Rick Allen. Remix.
down. Some cars, we saw Brandon Brown go by on pressure tires, but 2 laps down now as he.
Brandon Jones getting lapped again.
Back. But right now you're seeing, will these guys race them with respect?
How many 19 cars are in this
Will they
race?
get out of the way, or will they make it equally hard for either driver?
10 to go. There you go. Tampax 10 to go.
By the 19 of Brennan Jones, he ran the bottom of the racetrack, let the 7 have the top. You know, I don't think he has much to fight with, but he could have made it a hassle. But he knows these are the guys he's going to race week in and week out. I think something to said for that. A little bit of that.
Chase Briscoe is the last car on the lead lap with 10 laps to go. Now 9 laps to go.
It might be me leading one of these races.
Yeah, it's smart. Yeah, put it in the memory bank, get out of the way, it'll come back to you. And I tell you, Allgaier has, I think you're right, Steve. I think he is.
What a pace.
The fastest car. He's pulling away, and Haley's slipping and sliding pretty bad. Can't go forward. Looks like Allgaier set himself.
Haley lost about 4/10 that last lap, it looked like.
Simulation and studying, and you know, the manufacturer simulate, all that stuff is great. But I don't know of any way other than experience to know what it feels like at lap 10 on tires, 20 on tires, 50 on tires, 80 on tires. Here he is lapping the 98 of Briscoe, who's.
Well, I got my dollar tonight.
He's getting ready to put down Riley.
It's not the other 14.
Car lap down.
Yeah, I don't think you can't understate what you just said. He's about to put the 10th place car a lap down.
9 cars on the lead lap with 7 laps to go.
7 laps to go in the race. Allgaier playing it perfectly, it looks like, up to this point. The 11 of Justin Haley fighting back there, trying to hang within a second of the 7.
But a caution would change everything. A caution.
Don't say the C word.
Mandatory trip to pit road. These tires are exhausted. You have to put new ones on. So with 7 or now 6 laps to go, all Allgaier wants to see is that white flag and know this race is coming to a finish.
Putting together perfect laps, trying not to make any mistakes.
Yeah, tomorrow's Xfinity race starts at 2. Cup races at 7:30. Busy day tomorrow. I'm really looking forward to the Xfinity race tomorrow because it's a day race. I think it'll be better than this one. This one was okay. 5 to go.
He's a pretty consistent guy. Found a lot of success over at JRM as a crew chief. Happy to see them getting, you know, kind of right. If you mentioned it, long dry spell there, but they got the victory.
Got to think long and hard about who I'm going to get you to bet for me tomorrow.
Already 73 laps out front.
Allgaier will probably bump up and be a higher favorite, so I probably shouldn't bet him tomorrow.
The gap back to Haley, still hovering right around that 0.8 of a second mark.
One slip of the tire, though, and it can go away quickly. They are on their last legs, these tires, so.
Can't believe nobody's blowing a tire.
Drift there. I mean, it's like being on black ice. These guys are just managing these laps, trying to go forward, create incremental speed if they can. Haley's closing a little bit of distance, but I don't know if he's got enough time.
And maybe pushing it a
3 to
little
go.
harder. We saw him almost get into the wall coming off of 2. 3 laps to go now for Allgaier.
Right now, Jason Burnett is telling his driver 3 laps to go, 0.8 of a second. Allgaier knows what that means. That means don't beat yourself. No big mistakes. If you just run 3 solid laps, it will take care of itself.
And the King Leach is in this race too, and he ain't going to win.
Filter time on board.
2 to go.
For Justin Allgaier as a sponsor. Brand will be there, I'm sure, tomorrow. So the team will have to go to work. That was the one thing Allgaier was worried about this weekend. My team, my crew. Well, his crew has done an amazing job. They have given him what he needs to get out front and run well.
Yeah, pushing an issue hard behind you here.
1 lap to go. Haley's closed a little. Still over 6/10 back.
Last lap, hit your marks.
Lap car's too wide in front of Allgaier, going to 1. Don't panic.
They saw the white flag. Allgaier working through traffic. The gap to Haley, it's closing.
It's closed a bit, but I think he's got it.
Through 3 and 4 for the final time. Here comes Haley. Fighting.
Allgaier wins. Go Allgaier.
Allgaier's going to win again.
Kyle Busch third. Ha ha. An Xfinity race, and Kyle Busch didn't win it. Cindric 4, Chastain 5th. Brett Moffitt 6th.
The 34-year-old from Riverton, Illinois. He had locked himself into the playoffs with his win earlier this year at Dover. And Harper, Justin Allgaier,
Can't do burnouts. Got to bring the car back tomorrow.
has been designing helmets for Justin for a couple years now.
You know, it's a Clemson guy, and I'm pretty sure if Dan Quinn's still the head coach in a couple of years, we'll draft him because all we do is draft Clemson people. We draft from Clemson and Alabama primarily.
When the playoffs get underway, but a big win here for Justin Allgaier. Again, the first race of a doubleheader weekend.
Go Allgaier.
So I'm sure crew chief Jason Burdett has said
The real talent at Junior Motorsports.
Don't need any big burnouts.
Yeah, that car and engine will race against the bar. What a masterful job by Allgaier. You heard the radio real quick.
And it's not even 9:30 and this race is over with. That's how we like it.
He looked like the veteran of the series. That's what we continue to label him. And this was a veteran-style win. We've heard drivers talk about winning with their head. His talent was remarkable, but I really think his approach to that final run was a big difference maker for the 7 car.
Showed a lot of maturity as a race car driver. Kept putting himself.
Yeah, they got to rewrap that shit for tomorrow.
Taking advantage of his experience and his ability, and lo and behold, he's in victory lane again. Second win in the last 5 races. Well, they better watch out as we get closer to
Not the most thrilling finish, but
That's a little
a
gator
feel-good
right there.
winner. Stop with the little gator thing,
Getting out of
please.
the car and celebrating once again. We mentioned it's just the second win of 2020 for him. But getting to victory lane, so sweet. Justin has continued to tell us that that's what it's all about. Going out and having fun, running great race cars, and having the opportunity to win. Let's go to Parker.
Right, Rick. Well, let's hear from him about that battle there, that almost game of, that was like chess, a little bit of strategery there, Justin.
He said my favorite word, strategery.
That last run, you said it's so tough going that long. When did you know when it was time that you could push and drive away from Justin Haley?
I didn't know when it was time, to be honest with you. He pushed the pace there early on, and these guys did such a fantastic job. To my wife and my daughter back at home, they're watching. I know they're pumped up. They didn't get to come this weekend. Blake Cook, we did it, buddy. We got filter time in victory lane.
Shout out to Blake Cook.
I feel like we've had so many get away here, and just haven't been able to seal the deal. And it's been so frustrating, but proud of these guys, proud of the effort tonight. Pit stops are amazing. Everybody at Junior Motorsports, they built a fantastic Camaro. So huge thanks to all of our partners. Obviously, we got Brand Professional Agriculture on the car tomorrow night. Filter time's on tonight. Hellman, Suave, Klondike, Chevrolet, the Hendrick Engine Department. Just everybody that puts their hands on this race car. All of my sponsors. Our helmets, Alpine Stars, Harma, Specialized Bikes. I mean, just everybody that's a part of this program right now.
Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow, Michael. I got to think about who I want to have some money on.
I got damage early, so I feel bad. I think I had to make up for the damage early. So it's just how it goes, I guess, right?
Hey, real quick, just talk about, it wasn't about a month ago, 2 months ago, that you were frustrated. You guys had not been able to seal the deal. You guys kept running the problems. What's changed here in the last couple of weeks?
Nothing. Being on the right end of the stick. I got to thank the man upstairs. tonight was definitely.
Remember, kids, thank God when you win, but not when you lose.
We just had luck. I say luck, but luck is opportunity meets preparation. We were prepared, and the opportunities came tonight, and we didn't.
God is
I'm
undefeated.
really proud of these guys. This win tonight is all about these guys. We're gonna celebrate quickly so we can get this thing turned around and be ready for tomorrow.
Congratulations, guys. And I didn't think.
Yeah, I mean, it's 9 o'clock now, but they're racing tomorrow afternoon at 2, so they don't have a lot of time here.
Impressive
Really.
run for Justin Allgaier. He gets the win.
Well, I'm getting the hell off here, and I'll see y'all tomorrow afternoon. I'm going to go work out now. Not that excited, but I got to get it over with. I'll see you guys tomorrow.